Canadian wine lovers, Cars Wine Club members. It is Pinot Noir Marathon. Welcome everyone from across the country. It's an exciting day. We have 43 different Pinot Noirs from all different areas of our beautiful wine producing country here in Canada. So we are thrilled to host you and some of our winemakers to talk Pinot Noir. Look at that beautiful map of Canada, all the way from here in the British Columbia, from the Okanagan Valley. We are in Summerland. Look at the beautiful view behind us. We are on the lake in Trout Creek, Summerland, and we're going to taste these 43 amazing Pinots, different style, different approach, different winemaking technique. So yeah, I'm excited because we might have some of our special guests coming with to join us and talk about their philosophy. So a lot of exciting thing. You can see here, I'm a little bit wet, a little bit dirty. This beautiful bottle of Blanc de Noir exploded all over me earlier. So it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a fun one. I can't wait to taste these beauties. Average of bottles today, $42.50 on average. So we have some wines between 24 all the way to $85. So when we talk about Pinot Noir, we talk about a type of grape, so it's hard to go under the $25 bracket. I mean, it's a wine of finesse. It's a wine who can be finicky to produce. It's a wine that is a little bit more expensive. It's a wine who deserves sometimes either in barrel, either aging before release. So a little bit more expensive, especially to farm. So there's a reflection on the price point on the shelf, either at the tasting room and or in your favorite retail store. So it's something that you probably noticed throughout the years. As Pinot Noir, it's hard to come at a lower price point. So yeah, $42.50 on average. So welcome everybody from all over the country. We have people already joining us from Ontario, people from Alberta, people from all over the country. So it's exciting. It's going to be a great, fun show. I have my co-host and amazing partner right next to me here on the lake, who is just sending a few notes to people. She's going to join us. Mira Boucher is going to be joining us in a few second time for this. I would expect 3.5 hour show to taste these 43 wines. Time to rate them, to understand what's in our glass. We're going to talk about different, like I said, philosophy, technique, and all of that. So yeah, in general, Pinot Noir, it is here in British Columbia. It's the second most planted red grape. Yes, the popularity of Pinot here in BC have absolutely exploded in the last 5 to 10 years. So while back a while ago, Pinot was not the grape of choice for here in British Columbia. Now we're planting a lot, but we realize the quality of our terroir to grow this very fine grape. So we're going to talk Blanc de Noir. We have a white Pinot Noir. We have also Pinots from multiple different regions and different terroir that's going to have different expressions from Oliver, Osoyoos, to the south of the Okanagan. We'll have a completely different weather, completely different style of soil, sun inclination that we have on the north of the valley. We have wines from the Similkameen, all the way down to Lillooet, yes, near Lytton. Back east, we sure do have some wines from Prince Edward County, where we sure believe that that Pinot Noir is one of their grapes of choice. So 4 wines from Prince Edward County, one from Lake Erie North Shore, obviously the escarpment, Niagara Escarpment, also Niagara on the Lake. So nice representation, all from all over the place. Names like Leaning Post, Batchelder, Clausen Chase, here in BC, Maverick, Lakeside Cellar, Forbearance. What else? Well, Upper Bench, Tightrope. And so, yes, the Silva Winery. So we have some big names, some really, really, really interesting and really intriguing wines to taste. Some natural wine with plot wine from Caledon that I'm pretty excited to taste and review. But all in all, it's a really nice selection. A little bit heavier on BC Pinot this time around. If you recall our Chardonnay marathon, where we had 67 Chardonnay all the way back in July. Was it July? August? July or August. Anyway, if you recall, we're a little heavier on the Chardonnay from Ontario, but this time around we focus, let's say, 2-for-1 BC Pinots compared to what we have from Ontario. But quality of Pinot Noir from all over the country, that is for sure. Difference of style. So, and I'm also really excited to talk about the new, well, especially here in BC, because now we are not copying, but following suit with what they're doing in Ontario, meaning dividing the sub-appellation, the original regional appellation been subdivided by sub-appellation, where terroir are getting much more similar in small areas, where so now we're redividing all of these little sub-appellation, and BC's following right now much more in that the trend that Ontario has adopted 10 years ago with people like Thomas Batchelder, Elias Sanchuk at Leaning Post, Kevin Panagatka at Cellar 2027 Cellar. These guys have really, really adopted the sub-appellation concept to redefine local terroir, and where wine lovers can really, really learn about more site-specific, more single vineyard appellation. And like, so it's really, really interesting how the subdividing and sub-appellation can do. And now British Columbia is coming more and more into that concept. And we've seen in the last couple of years where the Golden Miles was subdivided into the Golden Mile slope and the Golden Mile bench. Here in Summerland, we've seen it last year where the Appellation Committee subdivided like Summerland bench, Summerland. There's subdivided only Summerland in 3 different area. Summerland Lakefront, Summerland. Bench. Anyway, so also the same thing happened in Kelowna, where the East Kelowna got subdivided in 2 or 3 different sub-appellations. So it's happening here too in BC. We know that it takes time that people get used to and start referring to these sub-appellations. But anyway, we're seeing a little bit more. And today we're going to have that, seeing what's the impact and what's the precision and the difference of terroir by these sub-appellation, because definitely the wine from Niagara on the Lake, from the 4 Mile Creek appellation, are completely different than the wines who are from the escarpment, let's say on the 20 Mile bench. Completely different approach, completely different extraction. So we're seeing that here in BC as well, with Okanagan Falls versus Skaha and Skaha Lake versus Golden Mile versus the Okanagan Valley, the general appellation. So we'll see here what we have to work with today, but more and more our winemakers are becoming much more precise into their winemaking, and we can see that much more into Chardonnays and Pinot Noir, I think, where there's a tremendous reflection of terroir into these wines. So yeah, we're going to start tasting in a very few minutes. So I think I would like to go with a winery from the south of the Okanagan, almost in the United States, almost in Washington State. We're already down all the way down south to Osoyoos, with the winery of Lakeside Cellar, one of the members' favorite. This is their Blanc de Noir. So traditional method here. So they make sparkling with the champagne method, means the second fermentation made in bottles. So Blanc de Noir means there's only the Pinot Noir in this case in this bottle for the 2020 vintage. I know that their new release, I believe the 2022 that they're working on right now, has a little bit of Pinot Meunier in the new one. But here, that beautiful sparkler is on the appellation of the Golden Mile Slope. Because it's a single vineyard production of Pinot Noir from the Testa-Linden vineyard in Oliver. So no, not on the Golden Mile, but Golden Mile Slope appellation. So let's give it a try here. Beautiful sparkler, beautiful bubbly. I can wait to try this. Let's see if Mira here. Woohoo! Splash. There you go. Beautiful mousse. Look at that. Cheers.
Cheers.
Great nose. So I have here my my sheet with all of my 43 wines. I got the price in, the province, the appellation. I put some notes here with the case production because I know that people likes to know if it's a very small, tiny production versus bigger production. I don't get all of the information at once, but I also put some information about the oak treatment and wild fermentation. There's some little notes here. So, and I think Mira put the link in the comments here if you want to take a look at and rate and follow suite with me while I'm tasting. So, like the nose, there's a minerality on the nose that I like. A little bit of apricot, some pear. You can see a little bit of a rosish tint here. It's just because of the skin of the Pinot Noir. The wine had a time to get just a little tint of color. Bone dry. Really, really dry. Apple skin. Definitely salty minerality here. It's interesting. Really, really dry. Cut me off guard a little bit. So yeah.
Oh, you've got the lakeside. Got lakeside open.
So Lakeside here, this wine is at
Okay.
let's see here.
Yeah, it's 9.
Huh?
What?
Oh, I need to know my information too. So
It's number 9. The 9th wine we were going to taste.
there you go, wine number 9. So $35. Just start on the $35 mark. Well priced for a Blanc de Noir. It's there's a really sophisticated personality in that wine. Like I said, really dry, very mineral. You don't look for that little sweet bubbly. No, it gets you to the bone. It's really, really cerebral in terms of bubbly. It gets me a little bit like a cru champagne in sense of that chalky minerality. So pretty interesting. I will give that wine a 89 plus point, just around the the 90 points, right? We're just short of it, but really close to. So 89 plus. I may have like to have like just a tiny touch of sweetness to get around it out because it's really zippy, really straight to the point. So, but yeah, interesting if you like it, serious, chalky, and bone dry. Well, this is something here at $35. Just to remind people who are tuning in a little bit about the scale, the point scale that we're using. I've been doing the exact same thing for 3 years since day one we started Carl's Wine Club. So we do not talk about a wine under 88 point. I think 88, that's the reflection of the honest wine, a wine that meet its price point, but this doesn't deliver anything special, doesn't really entice me or get me excited to go back to the liquor store and search for this wine or to try to get my hands on more. It's something that I will gladly enjoy if it serves to me. So the 88 points, that's as honest, well-represented bottle of wine. 89, the point, that's where, because to me, everything is surrounding the 90. 90, that's where you start to talk about a wine that below, like definitely meets its price point and over deliver its price point. So 90 points, that's where we start to talk about a great wine. So 88, 89, it's a wine that now we're talking about a wine to totally meet this price point. It's completely honest, and it gets my curiosity. It's a wine that I want to know more about, and when we get more to the 89 plus, we're just scratching the 90 points. So it's a good wine. It's just like maybe the price is just maybe a tiny bit, couple dollars higher than I was expected, or there may be just one little factor into the flavor profile or the aromas that had maybe went a little sideways. But 89 plus, we're getting close to a wine where the 90 point floor, that's where like, okay, now we'll start talking about something serious, something who absolutely delivers the price point. Because in my book, the price point, it's something very important when we rate wines. To me, I don't have the same expectation of a $55 wines that I have for a $25 wines. So is the price point important? Absolutely. Should I have a swing of 2 to 3 points versus the price point? No, absolutely not. But I go up to a point, up or down with the price point. Usually half a point, that's where the swing comes up. It's when the price point, I'm like, oh, wow, this is less expensive than I was expecting. So now we can move all the way down to like move up a point. But 1 point is the maximum influence of the price point on the score. 91 points is a wine that really deserves a big shout out. That's the wine that I take very seriously. Absolutely, like overdue its price point. So 91, it's the first step of the rock star level. 92, it's getting a wine of distinction. That's where a wine, we're getting like maybe like the 10% of the wine production, maybe even less than 10%, below 10%, where 92 and above, like we mentioned, it's a wine that in this category, it's one of the leader. It's either a silver or gold medal. 93 points is the rock star level. 93 points, that's where absolutely no doubt that this wine in the lineup of 10 will be 90% of the time will be the best of 10 wines or close second. So that's the 93 points. That's my rock star level. 94 points, it's usually at 94, that's where you make the top 10 wine of the year. Like the top 10 list of the whole year. We taste around 1,200 wines every year, all Canadian. To make the top 10, it's usually 94. So that's me, just to give you a sense of order that, yeah, usually out of 1,200 wines, there's 10 or just around 10 wines were 94 points or better, 95, the cream of the crop. 96 points, to be honest with you, I've rated the wine 96, maybe 15 times since we started in 3 years. I have won wines at 96 plus. I have one above that. So rarely it happened once that I did at 97 points and once at 98 points. So the very extreme wine of, it's unbelievable. It's my number one wine of the year usually. So this year so far at 96 plus, I believe it's the Ice Cellar Syrah 2020 vintage. That's my number one of the year so far in the clubhouse. And I had last week a wine, an incredible wine, very tiny, small production of a 2015 Milestone from Riverstone Winery that I rated 96 points. That we're going to talk a little bit more in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, so it's a little bit of my how I score. I just want to remind people the scale of points. Why we're doing it is to give a snapshot to our members, a quick snapshot of the impression of the wines that, to our knowledge, compared to the 1,200 annually that we taste. I think it's easier. It's easy for members to quickly, the snapshot of the appreciation that Mira and I has for a wine. So you don't have to go through the whole tasting notes unless if you're curious and you want to know more. But it's the snapshot, the quick sense of appreciation. That's why we rate wine. That's why I believe in our model for our members to know how we appreciate the wine and why we're selecting certain wines. So here we are. So that's a little bit of our scale of ratings on the scale of 100. So cheers to that. 89 plus here for that Blanc de Noir from the Testalinden Vineyard in Oliver from Lakeside Cellar. There you go. So here we are. Let's move on. So we had one Blanc de Noir here. We are right at the very beginning of our Pinot Noir Marathon for 43 wines. We do have here wine number 2. It's a white Pinot Noir. Yep, white Pinot Noir. So this is made by Maverick Estate Winery. They are located in Oliver as well on the very famous Golden Mile. There's this wine here is on the appellation of Golden Mile Slope, actually. Also, so the vineyard, the Maverick Estate Vineyards is right next to the Testalinden Vineyard where the bubbly from Lakeside is coming from. So we have that white Pinot Noir here. So yes, you can make a white wine out of a red grape. How's that, eh? How cool is that? So 2 examples here to start the show. So that is pretty cool. So this is only the free run juice that you take. So because every single grape, the inside the berry, the pulp, the juice who comes out of a grape, it's white. So how do you make a red wine? It's the skin, the pigmentation of the skin will give the color to the wine. By not letting the juice have any skin contact, you can do a white Pinot Noir. Yes, yes, yes. So here we are. We have a from Maverick. Maverick, we love. Oh, here you are. Welcome, welcome, Mira. Cheers to you. Welcome, welcome.
And I can't wait to taste the white Pinot Noir because I had some earlier this year. And I really liked it. So.
Love the texture of that wine. Absolutely, like how round, how soft that texture is. So here, let's look at Mirren, you can tell me which number we have. After that wine is going to be very easy because we're going to go from all the way from one to
And
but
just so you know, we have our first special guest in the green room, Mark Simpson. So I don't know if that changes your order at all.
absolutely not, because
But,
because mythology is part of our first flight. So
oh, that's perfect.
when I'm done here with the with the white Pinot Noir, saying white Merlot, because Mark, our first guest, makes a white Merlot from Osoyoos. But let's finish up with the Maverick white Pinot Noir. This is a wine that they don't make that wine for the general market. This wine is not for sale in the tasting room. This one is not for sale. I mean, on the website, neither on any stores, or it's for tasting room only. It is just a little treat that they make 60 or 70 cases a year just for special showing. And yeah, we were lucky enough to get our hands in. Here's your. That's your.
Oh, that's my glass.
That's your
filled.
sip
Thank you.
here. So I really like the nose. The nose has a little bit of like orange nectarine. I would say, yeah, orange nectarine. There's a little bit of floral note as well. White plum, if you may. Yeah, but what's really to me, like the big attribute of this one is the texture, round and soft.
It is very luxurious in your mouth. Yeah. Velvety, silky,
velvety, but bright acid, beautiful fruit. So this is a 90-point wine. Definitely. If I look at my sheet, Maverick here, the 2022 at number 26, it's including tax, it's $40.35. So it has to be good. It has to deliver to get a 90 points, and definitely texturally, this one is an absolute beauty. So I give this wine a 90 points on the dot. I like that. I think it definitely delivers. It's unique. But you can see, you feel it. There's a bright acid. This is going to be good for a good 3 to 4 years. No problem about it as well. A great balance. But again, texture with this one is the name of the game. Absolutely. So here's our second one of the day. First 90 points. So we are off to a great start. Both first wine from the south of the Okanagan.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I think we're gonna stay in the south of the Okanagan, and let's bring our first guest in, Mr. Mark Simpson, owner and vigneron winemaker at Mythology Vineyard. Mark, how's it going?
Hello, wine lovers. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to have you, Mark. I don't know if you can look at your volume, maybe if you can crank up your volume just a tiny bit, if it's possible. Or it might be just me on my side.
I'll update your volume too, Carl.
There you go. That's my volume. See, my producer here is telling me that my volume is the problem. There you go. Boom. Mark, good afternoon.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Great to be here. So we're gonna pour here our first red Pinot Noir of the day here. We just had a couple of your neighbors here. We tasted Maverick White Pinot Noir. We tasted Lakeside Cellar Blanc de Noir from the Testelinden Vineyard. So Mark, you're the owner at Mythology Vineyard, a new project that you guys purchased, a new property near Osoyoos. Can you tell us a little bit more about your site and what you guys are specialized in?
Well, we specialize in legendary wines and legendary experiences is our tagline. But myself and my business partner, Teresa Centani, we bought this vineyard last August. So it's kind of a full year where we've actually been able to take care of the farming and, create a business in the vision that we want it to be. And it's been an interesting year, I'll say. Just about anything that could happen, did happen. And even though I thought we were done with the forces of nature, we had a hailstorm the other day. So it didn't last very long, but, I was out in the vineyard with our people picking, and we got a lightning strike in the vineyard, like less than half a kilometer away. So we highballed it inside. There's no way I'm getting in the tractor in a lightning storm. So
No.
the force of nature is not over. But the good news is we just finished picking our last grapes today. So that's a pretty happy moment. So I have a nice crafty beer. Anybody that knows me knows I like my beer. So I have a nice craft beer from East Vancouver to finish off the day, and some Mexican food, a little corner stand. And so, yeah, we have this beautiful site in Osoyoos. We've had a challenging year for farming. We did manage to get some nice fruit amidst all the challenges, and we're just lucky to be here and very pleased. So we have a 3.56 acre vineyard. Most of it's Merlot. We have a little bit of Tempranillo. So you can watch for, we have 1 barrel of Tempranillo laid down from last year. Sadly, this year, that portion of the vineyard didn't yield what we wanted it to. But luckily for us, we are a bit diversified. We have a distilling program as well. So the grapes we picked today are going into our estate brandy. So that's kind of another side to our business.
That is a really exciting part as well. Like we've never seen. And I heard that you're working on a vodka project made with grapes, correct?
Well, it's already bottled, actually. Vodka, you think it's coming from potatoes as the primary starch source, but it's the vodka is a process, and the source of starch can be changed. So we made it from Merlot wine, and we make our brandy from Syrah wine. And this batch is going to be made from our estate grapes, as well as a batch of Nocino, which is an Italian walnut liqueur. We have 8 walnut trees on our site, so they're all dropping walnuts right now, which sucks because you drive over them with the pallet jack and you trip on them, but you're going to do something nice to them. But I think we're here to talk about Pinot Noir.
We sure are. We sure are. So I think there's a big difference in the Okanagan in terms of sites of Pinot Noir. More and more we're planting Pinot Noir. We realize that it's a nice, the Pinot Noir react fairly well to colder weather compared, like we think that Pinot Noir, because of the skin is pretty thin, would be more fragile. No, it's more winter hardy that we thought. So now it's gaining a lot of popularity here in the Okanagan. It's now the second most planted red grape. Yeah. But definitely, I believe that there's a tremendous difference between a Pinot from the north, let's say from Kelowna, or a Pinot from the south. So tell us a little bit more about the Pinots from the south, the one that you source in your area, Mark.
Well, we get our fruit from a vineyard near Oliver, the Rama Ridge vineyard, and it's quite close to Covert Farms and McIntyre Bluff. And it's kind of a special site because it's in a little bit of a bowl. So you have the quite high mountains surrounding it, McIntyre Bluff being the most prominent feature. And it sits in a little bit of a pocket that's sort of less resistant or less susceptible to smoke and frost, and still pretty hot. So I think the most important difference between the North and the South Okanagan in terms of any fruit, but particularly Pinot Noir, is the heat units. So in Osoyoos, we have 1 or 2, maybe 3 degrees more higher average temperature than Oliver, and maybe even a little bit warmer in Oliver versus OK Falls of the North Okanagan. So if you look at the difference between Vernon and Osoyoos, you could have a 5 degree Celsius temperature difference, even in the very height of summer. So what that means is for Pinot Noir, it likes all climates, but it really thrives in kind of 26 to 30 degree Celsius weather without the really intense heat. And it also likes sites with a higher diurnal effect, which is difference between daytime and nighttime temperature. So if you're in the valley bottom in Osoyoos, it's really hot, you're not getting the nighttime coolness that allows the acids to remain in the fruit. So I think that's probably the biggest difference. So if anyone says you can't grow good Pinot Noir in Osoyoos, they're wrong, because it's really site specific. And if you're in a valley bottom site where it's really hot and the fruit doesn't get any coolness at night, you're not going to retain the acidity. So that's probably the primary difference, but it's very site specific. So you can have great fruit in any site if the site has got the right characteristics in terms of temperature, moisture, soil, etc.
Oh, I have a really cool question here from Daryl, Mark. Daryl Hickey from Ontario Daryl's asking if a Pinot with a thin skin would this make it more resistant to smoke taint? Because as we know, here's something that they don't have to deal with in Ontario. It's wildfire. This is something that you guys, as a vineyard owner and winemaker, it's a challenge that you have to manage and mitigate every year. So that's a great question, Daryl. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, thanks, Daryl. It is an insightful question. I think the thickness of the skin is probably not that significant. It's more, what's more significant is the time of exposure at which stage of the harvesting. So if in our case in Osoyoos, we had a fire at the end of July where we're just starting into Vraison. The berries are still pretty green. The skins are thick and there's not much transfer through that age of skin or the younger skin into the fruit matrix. If we had a fire close to picking, then we have much more susceptibility. But it also relates to the amount of ash that's deposited. So if you have a very close fire, close proximity, and there's ash falling in the sky and that sits on the skins, then you don't remove it, then you can have a higher risk of smoke taint. So what we did in our vineyard, and I recommend it to my clients as well, because I also work as a consulting winemaker, is to go through the vineyard with your sprayer and either spray water or spray air, like blow the side of the vines with no product in the machine, just to blow off the ash. So I think how much ash is falling and how close is the fire is the more significant factor than the actual varietal. But with that said, Pinot Noir with a thinner skin, it could be more susceptible, but I don't know enough about it to really give you a definitive answer. But I know in our case, we took some, fairly good precautions. We had our grapes tested by the Frind Laboratory, and they have they have a lot of money. The owner there, he sold plenty of fish, and he's outfitted his winery with all the latest equipment, and including a lab where they provide services to the wine industry. So we had 3 vineyards tested, two in Osoyoos nearby, and another vineyard close by where we get the Pinot Noir, and they did a mass spectroscopy panel where they look for the peak in 4 different molecules. And I can't remember the name of the molecules. I can look it up if someone's curious. But what it does is it tells you the potential for smoke taint in terms of the bound and the free precursors of the smoke taint molecules, and there's 4 of them. So we tested below threshold. So even though we had a pretty intense fire here in end of July, it was still well before harvest and well before Vraison's even getting going. So we deemed the risk low. With that said, I still used fining regime on the juice for a rosé that was a product that had a little bit of carbon in it and a little bit of pea protein. And there's some pretty good thinking going around in the winemaking community right now about how to deal with potential smoke tainted juices, and the fining before fermentation is really important, because once the molecules are converted through fermentation into a bound molecule, it can sneak up and come out in the bottle like 2 or 3 years later. So even though
that's the thing, right?
You can't smell anything, it'll sneak up and it'll become released over time in the bottle. So smoke taint isn't just about what you smell and see on the grapes that crush, it's what bound molecules are present in the matrix of the wine that can later be released over time. So it's a fairly complex chemistry for sure. We're just starting to learn.
Yeah, no, and I think we're just starting. We're seeing more and more people specializing in that topic, because now we know that with climate change and all that, wildfire is something that we have to deal with almost on a yearly basis. So there's a lot of energy and resources to be put into understanding the effect of the wildfire. Let's talk about vintage specific, Mark. We have here the one that we're tasting today. It's the 2020 Pinot Noir. So 2020 was a beautiful year. I mean, it was a hot, kind of hot vintage. So my question is, do you produce your Pinot Noir the same way regarding to the vintage, or you adapt the way that you when you pick and the whole 9 yard depending on the vintage?
No, it's a good question. It's absolutely vineyard specific, and it really depends on the ripeness and the quality of the fruit. I mean, in a perfect world, you're harvesting Pinot Noir around 24 bricks, 8 grams of acid, 3.3 pH, and that grape is more susceptible to bunch rot, disease pressure than other grapes because the cluster formation is very tight. So there's not a lot of space between the grape. And the Merlot would be the opposite, where the grapes are somewhat spaced in the cluster. So as air is moving through the canopy, it can dry out the clusters. But in Pinot Noir, the tightness of the clusters make moisture trapped inside the cluster much harder to remove through natural wind through the canopy. So that in that case, they're more susceptible. So if we see any disease pressure, we'll tend to pick a little bit earlier. But there's a good spray strategy you can use for Pinot Noir. Anybody that's farming it organically is going to have more challenges because they really only have sulfur in their toolbox. But if we're using some of the available sprays we have out there, they have very specific action and short half-life, and you can really fine-tune your spray program to have very healthy fruit, even in a year where you have high disease pressure. So in terms of picking strategy, it really depends on how good the shape of the fruit is in, and we want it to hang, but we definitely don't want to lose the pH. So if we have 23 Brix, but the pH is climbing towards 4, we'll tend to pick and have a lower alcohol potential rather than risk losing the natural acidity in the fruit, because that's an important part of the Pinot Noir taste profile. Well, any wine really, but you want to have some retained acidity after crushing. In terms of skin contact, if the fruit is really good condition and we like all the how it's showing coming out of the vineyard, we'll do a cold soak. And I've become interested in type of yeast that's called a bioprotection yeast. So it's a yeast you can add after crushing that doesn't actually ferment. It just forms a population that protects from other things coming in, like acetic acid bacteria and so on. So these bioprotection yeasts are very important because they allow you to have a good long cold soak. So we like to have 3 or 4 days of cold soak to allow the water-soluble tannins to be extracted, which are different than the ones that are extracted under alcoholic fermentation with heat. So putting that in plain English, more complexity. So day 4, you inoculate with the yeast you want, and we're using a yeast that has 3 different components. It's called co-fermentation is what it's called, and that gives more complexity as well. So you actually have two different fermentations, one with indigenous yeast from the vineyard, and the second with the yeast that we want to use that's very specific, and that gives complexity in the mouthfeel. And if, again, good fruit will go longer skin contact, 20 to 24 days, and then press it off with not much pressure, and then go through mallow and in the barrel.
Yeah, no, I like what you're saying, and something that I noticed into this very specific 2020 that we have here, Mark, from you, it's a bright acid, a beautiful frame of acidity here. Feels like it lifts up these ripe fruit component that you have on the second layer.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that for 2020 vintage. I think it's a clean wine. It's bright, but there's also some roundness. I like the texture, a little tad of like a little hint of herbaceousness as well. So yeah, really, I can very classify that as a South Okanagan Pinot Noir with the ripeness of fruit. I think we're kind of far away from the very earthy style of Pinot Noir. This is more a little on the fruitiness, but like well done. I give that wine a 90 points on the dot.
Thank you.
I like that. I think it's to me that there's an extra half a point here for the price point at
Don't
20.
forget about the Gamay Noir that's in the blend. It's made in the Passé tout grain style, which they make in Burgundy, where they take the second cru, or not the premier cru fruit, but still good fruit, but not the stuff that goes to premier cru, and they do blends with Gamay Noir. So in this case, there's 14% Gamay Noir blended in, which is post-ferment, post-barrel, so it's blended before bottling. I think the Gamay contributes to the bright fruit. It also gives a really nice earthiness, and I think just gives a nice textural component to the wine. So that's something I would definitely do again. The reason the Gamay's in there is because I had 2 barrels of the Gamay, and I thought it was better in the Pinot Noir than going on its own. So that's why I blended it, put it in the blend.
That's awesome. Mark, I have some other guests arriving here on site here on the lake at Summerland. I know you're going to be down tomorrow tasting the
I
wines.
can't wait.
that
We're going to taste everything.
So I can't wait to see you tomorrow afternoon. So thank you for your time today. I'll let you get back to your to your second pick for the brandy program. So I appreciate your time, Mark. 90 points, Mythology 2020 vintage for your Pinot Noir. Thanks a million, my friend. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks everybody for dialing in, and we appreciate all the support of the wine lovers across Canada. And thanks, Carl and Mira, for having us.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. You have a good one. There you go. So we're an hour in, and we have 3 wines tasted. At that pace, I'm telling you, we're going to be here until tomorrow, but that's fine because lots of great Pinot Noir. Great conversation. Always fun to have Mark Simpson with us, tasting his wines, the Mythology brand here from south of the Okanagan. How's it going? Yeah, great to see ya. So we have another guest just arrived live here. It's Mireille Sauvé from Lake Boat Vineyard in Caledon, BC. So I'm gonna reach out to this beautiful little bottle of wine here from Caledon. I cannot wait to get to it. There you go.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much.
For you.
Lovely.
I'm gonna have
Thanks
here.
for coming in person during harvest. And thank you to Mark for stopping by during harvest. This is extra special.
Well, thanks for having me. It's very exciting.
It is exciting. It is. We have we're just starting. So you know what, Mireille? I was so thrilled when you replied to my email because more and more we're seeing stuff coming out of Caledon. Caledon for years, I believe, that was known in the growing community. Great growing site, I believe. And now new wineries, Black Market has been established there. Skaha Vineyard as well. Now Anthony Buchanan is there. And the new project that you're working with right now, it's called Lake Boat Cellar. And when did you guys start it?
So Tara Matheson is the owner, and she bought it probably about 6 years ago, but didn't actually get a label to a bottle until last year.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
So it's a brand new project. We just opened our tasting room last July, so we're just barely over a year old now.
Remember going there for the opening, and there was that Argentinian type of sausage.
Yes,
That I see. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, it was awesome.
That's exactly right. Yeah, the taste of Argentina. We do find that those sausages go really well with our wines. And actually, we had some bulk wine in a tank that was just too small to put into a bottle when I first took over, and we sold it to the gentleman that runs the Taste of Argentina because there's delicious wine in those sausages as well. It makes them so good.
That's awesome. So now, tell us a little bit more. Okay, so Lake Boat, how many acres of your property? How many cases production? What's I believe that your focus is more Pinot Noir, Chardonnay. So please, the floor is yours. I want to know more, and I'm sure that our people wants to know more about that new project.
Thanks, Carl. I'm just going to start where you left off, actually, with regards to Caledon, because we are actually making wine exclusively from Caledon grapes at Lake Boat. So all of our Lake Boat wines are grown and raised right in the tiny little village of Caledon. And that is very exciting for us because we want to establish a sub-GI to get recognized as a unique growing region. As you mentioned, Caledon has been growing vinifera grapes for 48 years, and it's never had its name on the front of a bottle. If it's going to be VQA, it's not allowed to have the name on the front of the bottle. So we can't be VQA until there's a sub-GI, and we're choosing to have our name on the front of the bottle instead of being VQA, only because we're very proud of where these grapes are grown. It's a unique sense of place. So Lake Boat has a small vineyard along site of the winery, and it is just shy of 5 acres. We've got Chardonnay, Merlot, and Pinot Gris planted there. We've also got some contract vineyards in Caledon that we take care of that also have Pinot Noir. And then we've just taken on a new one that's got some aromatic white varieties. We're introducing a new wine to our lineup this spring.
Ah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That is exciting. Already growing. What's the capacity of the production at Lake Boat? Like you guys are shooting to be around what, the 2,000 cases
Well, we're
mark?
aiming for 3,000,
3,000?
but last year we did 850 cases. And then this year it was 1,600. So we're growing pretty fast and we're rapidly approaching our targets.
That's amazing. Listen, I'm tasting like this is
Hey,
2021.
we're
Yeah,
tasting
boy.
now.
Okay, come on.
Yay!
Cheers here. Okay. I had a little like, whoa, wow, that is good. I really like it's so we're tasting 2021 vintage.
Yes.
2021, known as the Heat Dome vintage.
Yeah.
Fairly challenging in terms of winemaking.
Yeah.
I mean,
and we
and
were
this-
so lucky in Culloden, we didn't get the smoke from the forest fires. So, you know, BC in general that was a pretty smoky vintage, and Culloden seems to have been spared. One of the unique things that contributes to Culloden's terroir is this wind that goes through. It's the windiest vineyard I've ever worked. And it just seems to keep it clear of mold and mildew mostly, but it seems to have also helped navigate the forest fire situation in 2021, which is when this wine was made.
But also, yes, forest fire, but we had that crazy high temperature early in the year, like late June, early July, 50 degrees. So managing the canopy and managing the vineyard, like how you water the vineyard, everything. Like I remember that vintage, everyone was asking questions like, because we've never been there before in terms of viticulture, has such a high heat early in the season. So what was the strategy? What was it? You're an experienced winemaker. Which strategy did you adopt in 2021 to protect the vineyard to this extreme heat?
Well, actually, I wasn't there in 2021 when that was happening. I was just coming on board late that year, actually.
Okay.
And so I can tell you, however, that the vineyard itself, we do practice regenerative agriculture. So it's a really hands-off, I want to say hands-off because we don't use harsh chemicals in our winemaking practices or wine growing practices, but it's very hands-on as far as labor intensive in the vineyard. So we spend a lot of time out there very carefully tending to the vines, making sure that they have the nutrients that they need, making sure that we're responding to any natural situations, be it weeds or pests or anything else. We actually plant weeds under our vines there, but they are very selective weeds. They're clover we plant. It's a nitrogen fixing plant, so it'll correct nitrogen in the vineyard if we need a little boost. But more than anything, it will crowd out invasive grasses, which get in the way of healthy vine management. So we do a lot of different things there. I can't speak to what happened in 2021 because I wasn't there, but I'm really proud of what we're doing now.
That's awesome. And did you make the 21 vintage?
I blended it.
You blended it?
I blended
Okay.
it, yes.
I have to say, well, we have a leader in the clubhouse here. We're early into the marathon, but this wine has a 91 point here. Yeah, no. This is fantastic. Oh, it's ripe, but there's a kind of a strawberry jam in the middle. There's a little earthiness, but there's a bright acid. There's that vibrancy that's filled with energy. And I like how the fruits are ripe, but not overripe. So it's bang on. Wow, this is fantastic.
Well, you know, I really have a philosophy on, especially for BC, that we shouldn't try to be anything that we're not. We're not a super, super hot growing region. We're a cooler climate viticultural area. And we make some really elegant wines that way. And when we try to sort of over extract or get too much heat in a wine because we want it to be more like California or Australia, it doesn't work. It never
doesn't
works. And so I think that Pinot Noir is one of those wines that often gets mistreated because people are trying to make it something that it isn't naturally. And I just want to embrace what we naturally have, which is a cooler climate growing region. As you say, those like bright fruits, the red fruits, the strawberries, the wild strawberry patch, those are fantastic Pinot Noir characters, and they're bright and they're elegant and they're charming, I think. And a little earthiness, that mushroom really comes in and gives it complexity. I definitely recommend decanting this wine because it does open up over time.
It grabs me like there's a nice grip. Okay, people who listen to us for a while, they know I like my wines in their youth. I like my wines filled with energy, and I like that grip. Like I love that. At that stage, personally, I like it. I think it's feisty.
Yeah.
And I think feisty is the perfect way to describe that wine. There's a really energetic tannin at the end, and it's really, really good. I love this wine.
Wonderful. Thank
that's
you.
awesome.
Well, I'm so glad. We just released it, actually. Our 2020 vintage just sold out, and it was very, very well received. And then the 2021 vintage is so much more vibrant, I find, and really, like you say, it's gripping. It's got that nice tannin, the structure, and it's the kind of wine that I think is going to age really well. But like I said, once you decant it, it really opens up in the glass, and I think it's very versatile as far as
This is 5 to 7 years, no problem. I mean,
For
just
sure.
like without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Like, without blinking, that is for
because
sure.
you've got the structure of the tannin
Yeah.
and the acidity together, and that keeps the fruit vibrant and alive to develop.
A little light spice as well at the very end, who keeps it going. So I truly enjoy that. Mike LaPlante, who's Mike is the average wine enthusiast on YouTube. It's a pretty cool show, and Mike's tuning in today. Comes to BC every 2 years, and he's a member at the Black Market. So he's asking if your vineyard is near Conviction Ridge Vineyard. So we're like, what, 5-minute drive?
I'm not sure where Conviction Ridge is.
Black Market,
Oh, yeah.
Black Market Vineyard.
It
So
is a 7-minute tractor drive.
7-minute tractor drive.
That's
So
how we get around Canadian.
or golf cart.
Yes. We don't have a golf course, but we do drive the tractor a lot. In fact, one of our vineyards that we source Pinot Gris from is right next
To Conviction Ridge.
Yes, exactly. And so we do transport those bins via tractor during harvest time.
So Mike, 7-minute tractor drive. So with the Pathfinder, I'll say maybe 4 minutes.
Maybe two. Maybe two.
Yeah, pretty close. Okay, so now 2023 it's a wrap almost. Where are you at with your harvest? Are you done? Are you almost done?
It has
Or
been so fast and furious.
you're darn it! Like it's what? It's
Still September, and we are almost done. We've got one vineyard left to harvest, our Pinot Noir.
I need more of that. Sorry.
Yay.
Sorry, guys.
So yeah, our Pinot Noir is still hanging. We're just making sure that the fruit, we actually, as everyone is likely aware, we had a really rough winter, like everyone else in British Columbia, especially the Okanagan and the Similkameen valleys. So the winter damage was pretty extensive in our vineyards, and we had to change the way that we pruned as a result. So we went in with a completely different pruning strategy than we have any other year, and that left a lot of work for us during the growing season. But we're really glad we did it, because we ended up with a fair bit of fruit. And so that's great. I mean, we're really happy with the fruit that we're getting. It looks great. It's clean. There was also a lot of mildew in the valley this year, and we were largely spared of that. We have a really terrific vineyard manager who I have to shout out to. It's Bob Ursego. He's almost single-handedly planted about half the vineyards in Culloden.
He's Mr. Culloden.
Career, yeah. The king of Culloden, we call him.
He's the big staffer of Culloden.
Yeah. So he's done a really great job protecting our vines so that our grapes could grow to be the optimum quality that they are. And just the one more vineyard to go, and our tanks and barrels are largely full. And we'll be doing nothing but punch downs and that kind of thing coming up soon.
Big work's coming in.
Oh, yes.
Big work's coming in. How would you rate the quality of 23 vintage? Okay, I want to know. Yeah, not the marketing. I don't want your marketing hat. I want your winemaker.
No, I mean, as far as the quality goes, how would I rate it? Well, I'm actually pleasantly surprised at how much fruit we're getting, and the quality of it is spectacular. I'm really happy with it. The challenge as a winemaker is always to get your hands on some really good fruit and not screw it up. And so this is now where I'm supposed to not screw it up. And so I can't really say how the vintage is going to be because I haven't done my part yet. But I'm really hoping that I don't screw it up, and that it will be as lovely in the bottles and in people's glasses as it looks right now. It looks really promising.
That's awesome.
And that's not marketing. That's my
No. You know what? It was a test, because we've been talking to a lot of people, and I think in general from British Columbia, what I hear is obviously small crop, but fantastic quality.
Yeah.
So that I hear that in general from our friend in Ontario. They had a crappy summer, a ton of rain, but you know what? September has been so kind to them, a little bit like us last year, where now they're extending their season, and it looks like they are saving the vintage as we speak. And so now it's extending. So I'm really happy to hear that. I mean, I know if I may ask you a question about, you're working on a different project as well. It's more of your personal, on the personal side.
Yeah.
So please tell our people what's your personal project.
Sure. It's called the Wine Umbrella. I make one wine every year that is specifically under that label, the Wine Umbrella, and it benefits women's education through Les Dames d'Escoffier. So Les Dames d'Escoffier is a group of women who are in the food and beverage industry, and we raise money all year round for scholarships for women to study food and beverage. And our BC chapter is the beneficiary of the fundraising that I do with these wines. And so far, we've raised $45,000 for women's education through the sale of these wines. So they're called the Wine Umbrella. And I just released last year's wine, which is a American oak aged Chardonnay. It tastes like pina coladas. I just love it so much. And this year, I'm working on a rosé.
That's cool. Really cool. So does it mean like you're gonna have up to 3 different wines, or it's always one? So you just switch. One year it's a Chard, one year it's gonna be a rosé.
Yeah,
or...
it's always
Okay.
one, and I
Okay.
try to make it so that there's always a lot of choices. So the reason I'm making a rosé is because my last rosé sold out. I do make the wines to age because I want them to stay around on the market for a long time, to give people those choices. And frankly, I just like making age-worthy wines. It makes me happy. And I like making wines that I like. And that's the fun thing about having that project, is I can just make one wine every year that's my favorite style. And, you know, if I'm working with a winery that doesn't particularly like American oak fermented Chardonnay, that's okay, because they don't have to have it.
That's it, right? And on which platform we can find the Wine Umbrella?
Well, so the owner of Lake Boat, Tara Matheson, is gracious enough to actually invite me to be in the tasting room with my wines. So she's very supportive of charitable endeavors, and she gives me tasting room space. So it's the first time in the 9 years that I've been doing that project that I actually am in a tasting room. So that's pretty exciting. You can come and try the wines. And of course, there's lots of stores and restaurants in British Columbia where you can get the Wine Umbrella as well. And then on the website, you can order it and I'll ship it out anywhere in Canada.
There you go. And Mike's asking, is it a Pinot Noir rosé or?
The rosé that I'm making this year is actually a blend of Merlot and Muscat. And it's so yummy. I have never seen those two grapes together, but I'm loving those two.
Me neither.
Together.
I mean,
I like to mix it up on that project a lot.
That is real cool. Mike, we're going to keep you posted, Mike, because I might swing by Khalid and at some point to get maybe a little taste of the tank or something.
Oh yeah, it's in the tanks right now.
Is it in the tank?
Oh yeah, it's actually, I'm doing a really slow fermentation of that one because it keeps the fruit really pretty. And so it's actually at about 15 bricks still. It's still
that is
coming
awesome.
along. Super juicy.
That's amazing. Hey, would you like to try some wine with me? And you want to stick around?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to get back to Punch Down soon, but
I will borrow your palate for a couple because I would like
one more taste of mine first.
Yes, it's worth it. Absolutely worth it. So let's move this one here. Lake Erie North Shore. How about that? Lake Erie North Shore, Ontario, like Windsor. Yeah. Like Mike LaPlante. It's Mike LaPlante.
Switching gears.
Yeah. Let's do that, okay? Let's do Mouchadre. For people who know us, we're a big fan of Mouchadre. And this is their 2020 Pinot Noir. Let's see what we have here in store. I haven't tasted that wine yet. So it's a wine who clicks at a $28 price point, including tax.
Nice.
So we, as often here in British Columbia, we pride ourselves to say, oh, we're the warmest in Canada, blah, blah, blah. No, if you look at your map, Lake Erie North Shore is probably one of the hottest place to grow grape in the country. So, yeah, You know, Mouchadre grows Nebbiolo.
Really?
Mouchadre grows Barbera.
Wow, nice.
And in 2016 vintage, there's Syrah, was absolutely to die for. I made my honorable mention, my top 10 wine of the year. Like absolutely fantastic. Mike, I know you're a big fan. If I know Moucherie, it's because of Mike. At the very beginning of Carl's Wine Club, I got a package. A bottle arrived to my door with the note from the average wine enthusiast. Like, Carl, you need to taste that.
Wow, cool.
And it was a bottle of the 2018 Meritage. And they really, really opened
Mike
my eyes.
introduced you to this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cheers to you, Mike.
Yeah,
So
cheers
this
to you,
is the
Mike. Well done.
2020 Pinot Noir here.
I love the color, I have to say.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
very silky and subtle.
Pretty. Yeah. There's a prettiness into that wine.
Super soft and smooth
Mhm.
tannins. Yes.
Definitely soft. All on fruits. Lots of berries, strawberry, a little bit herbs in the middle. Silky tannin.
Nice little vanilla.
Yeah, yeah. The oaks coming up. Oh, this is good. I mean, when you look at the price point, right? It's always, to me, it's always something that I taste, I smell, I taste, I appreciate, and after like, okay, now let's see how it fares
Mhm.
on. I think it's kind of the real barometer, right? How much do we ask for that pretty juice?
Right.
Because it's the part of the decision making, right?
Value counts for a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely. At that $28, I'm like, yeah. I mean, this is good. I mean, it makes its price point, right? It's a wine that's honest. It's not to me the most flashy wine, but it's pretty. It's well made. It's food friendly.
Mhm.
Definitely, I get that bright acid as well. A little bit of chocolate. I like that. I like that. I would go with the 89 points here.
Definitely tastes like a warmer region.
Yeah,
Curious
isn't
what the
it?
alcohol is on this one.
Let's right here. 12.8.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
yeah, yeah,
So-
well
so
managed.
smooth, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, well managed. I really like the nose.
Nice. I like that vanilla. I think it's really nice integration of the oak.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gives it a little bit more substance in the on the mid palate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you. I'll keep you for one more. Okay?
Sure.
Because we did Lake Erie North Shore.
Absolutely.
How about we do Prince Edward County?
I love Prince Edward.
Yeah. Okay.
I love Prince Edward. And you know, you bring these in, like you can get these through your wine club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Because they're not easy to find out.
No, no. We have
Well done.
4 wines today out of the 43, 4 from Prince Edward County.
That's awesome.
So this quesadilla are known for their value wine. You go on their website, they have wines at like $15, $16.
It's called quesadilla.
No, quesadilla. Quesadilla.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. They do Piconero.
Hmm.
They do some like Italian, obviously it's an Italian family. And Nick was like, Piconero. Wow. A little bit of a southern part of the of Italy. So I've never tried their wine, and I was curious about their Chardonnay, and I also had a bottle of sparkling Riesling. There was a couple bottles of Chard all the way back to 2015 vintage, but this is 2017 Pinot.
17.
Yeah, look at the color.
It is a nice color.
Yeah. Much darker than I was expecting.
Oh, nice.
So, $24.95 including tax. So that's the exciting part, because as you know, Mireille, I believe for me, for what I do, it's easy to find a great wine at $60.
Mhm. Yeah.
And if I give you a budget where you can make wines and sell it for $60, I'm sure that I make your life much easier.
Yeah.
Then I said I want to sell that wine for $32,
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
I mean,
Easier.
so when I get to this price point, I'm getting always excited. I'm like, okay, what am I going to get out of that? So let's do it, because I haven't tried anything from them yet. I got the box on Friday.
It's great to discover new things.
Absolutely.
I was talking to somebody on the Crush Pad the other day who was just visiting for the first time a winery. And I was explaining, everything that we were doing. And she said, none of your wines are very expensive. How do you do that? And I was like, well, when you go into the winemaking really in depth and you see what goes into making wine in the vineyard as well, you think you should be paying $100 a bottle for every single wine because there is a lot of work that goes into it, especially the boutique wineries, because we really have a hands-on approach. And I know everyone in Culloden fits into that category, right? So, but none of the wines out of Culloden are $100.
None, because I mean, the reality of the market is there's so few little, like when you compete with the international wines, I mean, there's the perception out there, and there's a certain threshold that, yeah, there's collectors who will pay whatever price it is, but Mr. Madam Everybody has, I think to me, the magic number is 30. Right now, between 30 and 45, that's where serious buyer goes. But still, the people who start into the wine, they look around the 25,
Yes.
$27, right?
Yeah.
So
No, I mean, it's almost impossible to find anything under $20 that you want to drink anymore, right?
No.
We just released a rosé that's $18.95, and I'm like jumping up and down. We could squeeze it in under the $20 mark.
Oh my
so people
God.
can actually try it, right? It's delicious.
with a lake boat.
Yeah, we just released it, so you wouldn't have seen it yet. You'll have to do a rosé thing and all that.
Oh my God, yeah. Well,
We only made about 280 cases, so I don't think it'll be around for a long time, but it's going to be yummy while it is.
so we're one beat less in the world.
Oh, well done. Just like that. He got it under his wine glass stamp. That is some precise accuracy. You are welcome on the crush pad anytime, Crow.
I'm a ninja. So okay, quesadilla.
Let's use the champagne. Make sure it's gone. There we go. Yeah. I can't believe that this is a 2017 wine. That's actually amazing. It's still holding up structure-wise. 2017.
Wow. At $24.95. Tax in.
Amazing.
There's a little rugged tannin.
Mm-hmm.
Bright acid. I mean, the acid hasn't dropped.
It's got more of a plummy sort of a fruit to it.
Yeah, a little bit more savoriness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but for that price point, yes, please.
Yeah, and you know what? This is the kind of wine that you don't need to have with food. It's it's good on its own. It's quite balanced, and so it does have the structure of the wood, tannins, and the acid as well. But it's mild, it's integrated, and I think that probably is a result of the age. So you can just like have a glass of this, right?
And there's a little pulse at the end. It keeps like pulsing in my mouth. Hey, wow. I mean, that makes his price point. That over deliver my expectation.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of age, and yeah, you know what? It's an 89 plus. I mean, I am pleasantly surprised at that wine. That's right, because I was looking for value, and starting to Google value wine, and the brand came up, and I went on the website, and the first one I see, $14.95. I was like, what? And anyway, so I got a full box, and this is one of their top. And Mira, this is the 2017 Quesadilla, the Prince Edward County value.
2017.
Oh, the one that you have open right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is really
That's right.
pleasant. Yeah, it's pleasantly surprising. So yeah, so Mireille, I guess we'll have to let you go back to your
Yeah,
crush,
I gotta
huh?
get back to the cellar and make some yummy wines.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. Cheers.
Thank you.
And,
Good to see you both in person.
And congratulations for a beautiful 91 points for Lake Boat Pinot Noir
Thank you very
Culloden
much.
2021. I mean, it's a leader in the clubhouse so far, and it's amazing. I'm so pleased.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you so
really
much.
good.
Hi, Karen Chapman. I just saw you on there. And hi,
Yeah.
everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for
Cool.
stopping by.
Sneak past your cake.
Awesome.
There you go. You know how we doing here?
Mouse here. Good.
Yeah?
I'll be back in a minute.
Are you?
Yeah.
Perfect. And yeah, after that, if we can clear these bottles from the sun,
Yeah.
because we need these bottles for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're having an open house. So you're more than welcome to join. Tomorrow we're going to have other people from the industry stopping by. So you're more than welcome.
Thank you.
Quesadilla. Yep. 2017 Pinot Noir. Okay. Here, and Mouchardre has been tasted as well. There you go. So, hey, we're moving along. We're having fun. Great to see Mireille. Great to taste Lakeside. Wow, I'm really, really impressed. So it's going to be maybe a little bit more follow up from my part a little later on. But we always like these little wineries start up, and this is one of it. So here you go. How about a little bit of cheese? And quesadilla. In terms of value, blows my socks off. Absolutely amazing. And the sun is coming out behind me. This is a Pinot Noir day. This is Carl's Wine Club Pinot Noir Marathon. Welcome, everyone, if you're just tuning in. Mike, Mireille, Mark Simpson. We have people from all over the country, and we're tasting Pinot all evening long. We are an hour and a half in, and I need to pick it up. So we're gonna, Daryl, I'm having one of your favorites next. I'm gonna go with Westcott 2020 Estate Pinot Noir. So let's do the Westcott next. After the quesadilla, much lighter color here on the 2020 Estate. Beautiful nose, though. Beautiful nose. I love that. So we have a Westcott offer coming up soon. I think is in November, where we're looking at 3 different Pinot Noir. 2020 Estate, 2020 Reserve, and also the 2020, I believe, Carolyn's Block. So it's really exciting. So tonight we're going to taste the Estate and the Reserve. Estate, I believe it's a blend of the 2 Estate vineyard. So the Westcott Vineyard and the Butler's Grant Vineyard, where Westcott Vineyard is in the Vinemount Ridge appellation of the escarpment, and Butler's Grant, probably the 20-mile bench, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm out for lunch, but we'll see. Anyway, but I know that the Estate is a blend of the 2 single vineyard. I love the nose. Really, really like the nose here. I think that the 2020 Estate, it's a pre-release, hasn't been released on their website just yet. Westcott is known for Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Now producing a little bit of Cab Franc and Rieslings as well. And they're sparkling. Their sparkling is absolutely outrageously good. One of the best in the country. The Brilliant, to my opinion. Butler's Grant Chardonnay, one of the best Chardonnay in the country. And yeah, we already did some stuff with Westcott in the past, and now I'm excited to taste here the 2020 Estate. Their entry level, we're talking about a $32 including tax wine. So when you look at the Pinot Noir spectrum, I mean, it's very, very well priced. So I mean, knowing Westcott, it's a nice entry level. I know that what's coming with the Reserve and the single vineyards, we have some much more serious wine coming up. But this is a nice welcome Pinot Noir in a sense that it's light floral, raspberry. There's a nice spice. I like that little white pepper lingering at the end. There's a good density in the mid palate. Even if it's a lighter wine, it's very well knit in the mid palate. There's nothing loose. It's all together. I like that. There's a little bit of vanilla, probably from the neutral barrel, a little bit. Like there's nothing too oak spice in there, so I don't think there's probably no new oak in there. But it's well made. I mean, it's an easy drinking $32 from a very top premium producer. It's well made. It's solid. It's $32. So to me, I give it a 90 points. I like the mouthfeel. Really like the mouthfeel. I think the flies, the fruit flies are realizing there's a load of cool stuff for them around here. Yeah. So I like the Westcott, 90 points. So let's keep going. And the way I have it split here in front of me, it's by price point. So I'm starting with the lower price point, and we're going to go all the way up to the most expensive wine, which the 2017 Prospectus Pinot Noir from Mission Hill. Nice gift that we had by Ontario member, Mr. Russ McFarland, when he came over around later in the summer. So he came to visit the Okanagan, and we had the privilege to have him over. So yeah, so we're gonna taste the prospectus at the very end, but now we are going into, let's say, following the Westcott. So I have here Westcott at 90 points. There you go. Mouchadre at 89, Casadilla at 89 plus. Let's do Tin Horn Creek 2021 vintage with Tin Horn. Let's see what we have in store here. It's a 1,600 cases production. So we're talking about bigger production here. Higher alcohol. It's a 14.3 percent alcohol wine. Big nose, really, like lots of earthiness on the nose, lots of it. Lots of floral note as well. I don't get any smoke on the nose. 2021, it's something to look for. They are from the Golden Mile down south. Tin Horn have been around for a while. Back in the day, Sandra Holefield was the owner before being purchased by Peller Estate. I mean, Tin Horn took a different turn after Sandra sold, a little bit more, let's say, bigger style production. But hey, I mean, it's still Tin Horn Creek. They have the crazy, beautiful source of fruits. I like some of their wines are really like the Creek. Their Bordeaux blend is fantastic. They have some new project right now with small batch wine that are absolutely off the chart. I like their natural wine. They do a small batch natural wines, like sparkling wine as well. This is really, really good. So anyway, this is a bigger batch of Pinot Noir. This is from the 2021 vintage. Let's see what we have here. So $34 wine, no, $32.50. I mean, it's good. I mean, it's bold, it's big, it's a little hot, but if you like full body Pinot, you're right there. I mean, there's enough acidity to sustain that, to sustain the higher alcohol, to balance it out. It's just like it's a full body Pinot. There's fruit to match. The nose is pretty earthy, but there's enough fruitiness on the palate. I would say well priced. It's round, and it's bold. So nothing wrong with that approach here. I'm quite pleased actually. 89 points, I think. Yeah, it's Hey,
Hey.
how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Would you like a taste of Tinhorn Creek?
I would love that.
There you go. So far,
Thank you.
to be honest with you, do you want to pass me
And-
these wines here? So,
Oh, which one?
just gonna.
Which one is Casadea? Do you still have any?
It's easy. No.
Because you tasted that. What
Yeah.
score did you give it? Because that was
89 plus.
yeah,
89
that was,
plus.
one of the lesser.
Yeah,
Right.
it was the less expensive of the
Least
whole.
expensive.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
least expensive.
Oh,
You know what? I'm now very excited to taste the rest of the lineup because this I wasn't sure. 2017. I'm like, yeah, what are we going into? No, pleasantly surprised. With lots of life left in there. Like it's not a dying wine. Yeah, really, really cool. I'm super pleased. See,
Ooh,
You know what
how
I
did
did?
you kill that wasp?
with
Ah.
I trapped it under my glass.
Under
I'm a
your
ninja.
glass.
I'm a
You
ninja.
are a ninja, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
under
look at this, you guys.
yeah, I sure.
It's not a bee. Don't worry. It's a wasp. I
Yeah.
know because they've bitten me here many times.
Yeah, I'm the bee whisperer.
It's true. When Carl sits down, the fruit flies go away. Like really, the mosquitoes don't like him. It's perfect because they like me. So in the summer, that's
Let's go now. So you have just a little sip of Tinhorn. We're gonna
Okay.
do next Stag's Hollow Vineyard. So Stag's Hollow has two main vineyard in Okanagan Falls. They they have two main vineyards. The Shuttleworth Creek
Shuttleworth Creek, yeah.
Vineyard and Stag's Hollow Vineyard. So this very wine here from the 2021 vintage again is from the Stag's Hollow Vineyard. So single vineyard right at the tasting room where you go there. So 25 years old vines. So let's see what we have here.
this was my
Your
Tinhorn.
Tinhorn
Yeah, I
as
can't
well.
get them mixed up, right?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna dump whatever this one is.
Here, you give it to me. I have the bin here.
Thank you.
There you go. Would you like a little sip of Stag's Hollow?
Yes, that's
go.
what you're on. That's what I'm.
That's what we have here. So
Here's the Stag's Hollow.
yeah, pretty deep color. Fruity nose, more on cherry here. A little bit more reserve on the nose. It's nothing too expressive just yet.
Earlier, Carl, you were telling me to pull up a flavor wheel.
Yeah,
This one's good.
I like that.
Pinot Noir. I mean, this is the kind of thing you can expect.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you look at that wheel here, it's definitely on red fruit here. That's what I'm having on the nose. Definitely, there's definitely
Just move your head so we can see.
oh, definitely vanilla as well. So these, and prior to that, the Tinhorn was much more on forest floor, licorice, and clove. It was much like there was that other aspect. So we're talking very different.
So what's interesting for me, I'd be really curious to see one of these flavor wheels for Cab Franc. I don't like half the things on this flavor wheel, like, in food. And Pinot Noir is not my favorite varietal. So I just wonder if there's a correlation there. Like, I like mushrooms. I like red fruit. I'm not a huge fan of licorice, clove, or forest floor. And vanilla, meh, right? So that's interesting.
I like that wine. This is the full body Pinot. It's not too hot though. There's a lot of fruit. There's definitely some licorice in the mid palate. There's some spice at the end. This is rich and full body. This goes to the 90 points, I believe. Yeah, and I like the vanilla. There's definitely a hint of oak in there, but nothing too crazy. I really like that. I really like that. We have some members that have been members at Stag's Hollow for a while. I know that the Renaissance Project is their top hand. But I'm glad that we're tasting the Stag's Hollow Single Vineyard here because it's very well made. Mm. Yeah, full body, but spicy. A little bit of herbaceousness at the end. Yeah, I like that. 90 points, $35. There's a couple wines. There's what 4 more wines at the $35 bracket, or 3 more wines at the $35 price, and after that we're going to go closer to we have what, maybe 10 more wines before hitting the $40 bracket. So
Can you do me a quick recap of your scores so far?
absolutely,
quick.
absolutely. So we started with the first one with the Blanc de Noir sparkling from Lakeside Cellar at the 89 plus. After that, we did the 90 points with the 2022 Maverick White Pinot Noir. We went to, after that, Mythology. When Mark joined Mythology, I give it a 90 points.
Okay, so the Maverick was how much?
90.
90. Okay.
As per
Mythology was 90.
Mythology was 90.
I'm putting it into the spreadsheet, so if anyone is
Perfect.
looking at that, you'll see the scores coming up.
After that, Mireille arrived, and we tasted the Lake Boat, and it has a 91 points, and no one had reached that level so far. Mireille is the leader in the clubhouse as we speak in terms of highest score. I really enjoyed that Lake Boat, 91 points. After that, we went to the Quesadilla at 89 plus. Mouchadre from Lake Erie North Shore at 89 points. We did the Westcott Estate at 90 points. And
Okay.
89 points for Tenor Creek
For their 2021. Yeah.
for their 2021.
Okay.
Stag's Hollow, 90 points. And
Okay.
that's where we're at.
There we go. Thank you.
Maybe Stag's Hollow, let's go 89 plus. Yeah, no, you know what? Leave it there. Leave it
Give it
there.
a 90 and we'll taste it
We'll
again tomorrow.
review tomorrow.
So sometimes these scores change by like half a point,
Mhm. Mhm.
maybe even a point, if there's a big change the second day. And
No, I like that.
I got a good tip from Mireille as she was leaving the winemaker at Lake Boat. She was just here and she sees me with those pumps we have trying to pump the air out. And she's like, get nitrogen gas next time. It's
Mhm.
much better, easier. And she said the pumps don't actually do anything because you can't collapse the bottle. So you can't remove the air. It just gets it a really good seal, which kind of makes sense.
It sure does.
Anyway, so she said the trick is if you don't have nitrogen, just put them in the fridge.
Yeah, but the problem is after that, it's to make sure that you have them for the right temperature for the day after.
Yeah,
So
you got to take
but
them out
yeah.
in time.
Stag's Other Vineyards is my preference. The one you taste, see more heat unit generally. Yeah, no, I agree. Daryl is a little bit more on the fuller body, but I quite enjoy it. So yes, here we are. We are going to go to Upper Bench 20. Well, we're on a stretch of 2021 vintages here. So Upper Bench from the Neuramata Bench, their new 20. This is a pre-release of their 2021. They're just finishing up selling their 2020, pre-releasing their 2021 here. Oh, bright color, clear. Here you go, Mira. Upper Bench from the Neuramata Bench. They also have a nice creamery there where they make world-class cheese. Their Estate Pinot Noir, I believe, was the 2020, made it to my top 5 wine of the year in 2021. Was it? Or 2019 vintage? Anyway, their Chardonnay this year made it to my top 10 of the Chardonnay Marathon. I known Gavin and Shauna for a while. They are fantastic. Gavin used to be at Poplar Grove, and also Oh, I only had 9% left on my phone before I die.
Make sure you're plugged in.
Can we do something? I just seen that. I'm like, ooh, okay. Well, might die soon. So yeah. No, upper bench, a good, solid player on the Normandy bench. So I am excited here to taste the pre-release of the 2021. Comes from 2 or 3 different sites on the bench, mostly from their estate vineyard, but not all. They also have some different grower contract on the bench for the second label, the non-100% estate. At a $34, 34 and a half, I mean, it's a good price point for Pinot. So let's see what we have here. A little shy on the nose. Lots of fruit. We're talking about the same percentage of alcohol that we have with Stag's Hollow, and I get kind of the same type of nose as well. More on fruit, more on cherry. Very fruity on the nose. So 160 cases produced here. So a small batch of this 2021 Pinot. Mm. Mm. This is fucking good. Mm. Yeah, this is really good. A little sharp tannin here, but it's young. It's just been released. This wine's gonna be that's the best wine so far. That's the best wine so far. Love that. Really good. Well priced. Vanilla, ripe fruit, lots of cherries. Nice spice at the end. This is kind of it's simple, but so good. I mean, sometimes simple is better, and it's not over complex. It's not like too cerebral. It's just fruity. The acid is throughout. The fruit pops at the right place. There's oak, but there's purpose. I mean, what, 20% new, 20% new, 16 months. I freaking love that wine. You know what? Did I pour you any of that?
No, I don't think so. Let's see it. Or is this it? No.
We'll see. It's not a.
Guess what? We have Allison Moyes here in the green room. So whenever you're ready, you got that pork rillette. Shout out to Okanagan Hand Cut and
Virgin, right?
Carved. Yeah, they take organic pigs and they make these incredible
Rillette and pate.
rillette, pates, all kinds of things. They use everything from every hog.
That was really good.
I'm gonna cover those Pinots
That's
because they're
fine.
in the sun. I'm gonna go cover them. Should we
Well,
bring Allison on?
We'll bring Allison, and if you can bring these inside,
I sure will. So Allison,
I'll get the Solvero
yes,
right nearby here.
yes,
And,
Allison Moyes is at a winery. She's a winemaker at Solvero. Is it Solvero Winery? Just Solvero. And it's exciting because it's right by our place here. We're in Summerland. We're in Trout Creek, and it's what, a 15-minute drive in the Garnet Valley, which is getting a lot of sort of attention. There's more and more kind of attention around the Garnet Valley, a newer region for growing wines.
Absolutely, Mira, you're 100% right.
Let's bring Allison on and she can tell us more about it.
Yeah, it's not about me, right? So, Allison,
The expert right there.
absolutely, Allison, how's it going? Welcome, but good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you, Carl?
I'm doing well. We're like 12 wines in, and I feel like I'm way behind. I have a total of 43 to go through. So no, it's a great start of the afternoon. We tasted some wine from Prince Edward County, from Lake Erie, North Shore in Ontario. We have Golden Mile Slope. We had Caledon, Naramata Bench. So we're going all over the place. There's different profile, definitely different approach, and the terroirs are all very different. So, so yeah. So tell us a little bit where you are exactly.
Yeah, so we're out here in the Garnet Valley, which is a little bit off the beaten path, but really not too far of a drive off the highway, about 8 to 10 minutes turn off from Summerland. So Garnet Valley runs parallel to the main Okanagan Valley on the west side of the main highway, running north to south. We're pretty high elevation up here, some of the highest elevation vineyards in BC, 650 meters, really steep slopes. Pretty challenging vineyard to farm, but the fruit that we get is phenomenal.
So now let's talk about the project that you work on. Oh, Mira, I died.
You're fine.
Boy, it's not plugged in, so I don't know if Allison can see
Yeah,
me.
we can still see you in here.
Yeah, I know, but no,
Yeah.
it's just when you below 5%.
Oh, it just died.
Yes.
Oh, weird. Okay.
So if you can,
Because you plugged in. And
Allison, give me 1 second. I'll be right back with you here. I'm sorry for that little issue. Just try to fix my. Hello, Eric.
Technical difficulties.
Oh,
we're good.
okay. So the screen is not on.
Yeah, but we can see you and hear you.
Perfect. If you can see me.
Wow, it's weird. Okay,
can
why don't
hear
you come
you.
sit here?
No, can you?
There we go.
Yeah, so we'll just get Carl to come sit here for 1 sec while I figure this out. Sorry about that, Allison.
Yeah, no worries. You're back. I think you're on mute, though. You are on mute, Carl.
Let's try that one more time.
I'm here.
All right. You're back.
See?
All right.
The beauty of the direct, right? So what we're talking about, so the project that you're in, right, that you work with now, it's called Solvero Winery. So what's the background of the winery? When did it started and how did you get on board?
Yeah, so this project has been in development for almost 10 years now.
Oh my God, 10 years, eh?
Yeah. So Matt Sartor and his family, Bob and Andrea Sartor, they own the property, and it was purchased in 2014. It wasn't planted to vineyards when we purchased it, so it took 2 years to prepare the land for planting because of the nature of the site. So planted Pinot Noir in 2016 and Chardonnay in 2017. So fairly young vines, but the quality of the fruit that we get from the young vines, I think, speaks to the potential of this place. So 2016 planted the vineyard. We started building the winery 3 years ago. Just moved into our brand new state-of-the-art winery for this harvest season, which is happening as we speak. And prior to that, we had a space that was licensed temporarily just to do some very small batch production. But the vintages that you're tasting are really our inaugural release.
Wow. So I had the chance to be there yesterday. So, when you walk to a new stores or something, it smells like new. That's exactly the feeling it was when I got there. So yeah, brand new space. And like Mira was mentioning earlier, so the Garnet Valley, kind of a new area that more and more winemaker or winery owner explore. So I know what outside of the high elevation, I mean, this is one of the best attributes of the Garnet Valley. Is there a grape varietals specifically that you guys targeting? Is it more Chardonnay, Pinot suited? Is there what's the philosophy behind it?
Absolutely. So this site was specifically selected for Pinot Noir because of the elevation, the aspect, and surprisingly, the little bit less sunlight per day. What that translates to here in Garnet Valley is more physiological ripeness at lower sugar levels and therefore lower alcohol, which with still all the same intensity and flavor and fruit that we're looking for in Pinot. So we focused Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and sneak peek, we did plant a block of Gamay this year as well. So very Burgundian focus.
So I just say we have here with us 2020 and 2019 vintage. So I just had a sip here. Here's the bottle, so for people to see the label. So I just had a taste of 2019. What are we looking in terms of difference between 19 vintage and 20 vintage? To my understanding, I love BC 19 vintage because of the elegance. A little colder vintage, provide wines with terrific structure and awesome ageability. So in your winemaking, do you approach 19 and 20 at different ways, or how's your approach?
Yeah, so you're absolutely right about 2019, cooler vintage. So lean wine, but lots of really intense flavor. I think the difference for me with the 19 and 20 is with the more ripeness we got in 2020, it's more fruit driven, where the 2019 is a little bit leaner, some mineral elements, and some of the earthy kind of characters that we get more with old world wines. I like to think of the 2019 as a kind of a cross between Oregon and Burgundy. And then 2020, we're getting, lots of more jammy flavors, really fruit driven. And my techniques in the winery don't change dramatically from year to year, but I do make different yeast selections, whether to do spontaneous fermentations or to add yeast myself. But the big difference is the decision on barrel aging and the oak that the wine gets assigned to. I do that based on flavor profile and match it up to the right toast in the barrels.
I mean, I'm just on the nose here, and yes, you're right. How like there's a new world, a style on the 2020 a little bit more, and I can attribute that to the vintage. In terms of I think in terms of barrel aging, you just went a little bit higher on new barrel with the 2020, right?
That's right. Yeah. No, I don't want to overpower the wine with oak, but I think it's all French oak, and it plays a really important supporting role in both of these wines, actually. What's really cool about the Pinot that we have to work with from our property here in Garnet Valley is the clonal selection we have. We have 7 different clones of Pinot Noir, which is really exciting for me as a winemaker to work with all of these different elements. And I kind of equate that to having more paints on your palette, if you will, that every different Pinot clone brings a different flavor profile and tannin profile. And then when you combine those in just the right way in the finished wine, it lends itself to something really interesting and complex.
I mean, that made so much sense. I just I'm so into the glasses right now. Try dissecting, because what I'm noticing is that I have not experienced so far since the beginning. It's the depth of complexity into that wine, especially the 2019. There's like, I don't know, I feel like if I can swim deep inside that wine, there's multiple layers here. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, definitely a lot going on in the glass. And I think it has some ageability too. It has some legs for quite a few more years, the 2020 as well.
Wow. And so with Solvero, I mean, is there any, like for you, what's the magic number? We're looking at how many cases a year for you guys?
Oh, we have a big jump this year, which is exciting. I know that a lot of folks out there have had some winter damage, and we did get a little bit of damage in our Chardonnay. But we're on track for our largest harvest yet by quite a big margin. So about 2,500 cases this year compared to less than 1,000 last year.
Oh, wow. That is a great jump. It's exciting.
Yeah. We're, well, one element is that our vines are now coming into maturity. So they're producing a full crop. And we've also partnered with a really talented grower in Summerland for the first time this year, named David Kazuki. And so we're getting Pinot Noir and Pinot Gris from him. And actually, we just picked the last of the Pinot Gris today.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What a beautiful day. The sun is coming out right now. What a beautiful Pinot Noir day. I want to know, because we had that conversation earlier today about the sub-GI. Ontario has been doing that for much longer than we're doing it here in BC. They've been much more specific in terms of their sub-appellation that we are. But last year, there was a big development, and especially in your area, Summerland was split in 3 different sub-GI, if I'm not mistaken. So is it something exciting for you? Is it something that you were looking for, or do you think that we're not there yet, or it has no influence on what you do?
No, I'm glad you asked this question, because it's really exciting that we have the 3 Summerland sub-GIs. Well, Garnet Valley is in Summerland Valleys. There's also Summerland Lakefront and Summerland Benches. And in 2023, we have Pinot Noir. We'll be getting Pinot Noir from all 3 Summerland sub-GIs. So I want to build that into the portfolio to make a series of Pinot Noirs to reflect that, reflect the site and the clone.
That is really good. And I think that we're there. I think in terms of the maturity of our wine region, I think that we're there. It's a natural step to take now to define our terroir a little bit more precisely. Is it the way you feel as well, or?
100%. I think it's the important next step in building this industry. And it is marketing to an extent, but the wines they'll show the differences. There's lots of different unique microclimates that I think are really, really cool to show the differences that specific growing site can make on the wine.
You're right. And it doesn't happen overnight. I mean, people are not going to start talking about Summerland Valleys right out of the gate. I mean, that's not, but I mean, on a 10-year term, when people get used to that, it's like the Golden Miles or like the Nurmada Bench. I mean, now everyone talks about the Golden Miles. It's not a surprise anymore. It takes time. But I think in terms of maturity of the region, I think to me, it was a long time coming. And for me, these wines are not. Okay. And spending lots of time talking with Ontario people. I mean, when you talk the language out there, their sub-GI, it's part of every single conversation. So I'm excited for that future as well, like the Kelowna, the new East Kelowna and all of that, and now the Golden Mile slope. And I think we're getting to a more precise development. It's really, really exciting.
I completely agree. It's an important step that we've taken.
Well, it's a little bit more also like the playing with the clones, right? And now it's not something you guys as of winemakers are hiding anymore. It's something that, yes, it's a marketing tool, but it's also a work tool on your winemaking. So I'm looking at the back label here, and I'm glad that you're exposing it for the wine lovers to. Do we want to educate people? I don't like in terms of yes or no, but I mean, yes, but we don't want to be teachers because sometimes you say like people don't want to be taught when it's time for wine. But it's such a great learning tool for people to see these kind of information on the back label.
I completely agree. And we didn't put tasting notes on the back label. And I don't do that at the winery either. So I don't want to tell people what they're experiencing. I want people to discover the wines for themselves and describe it in their own words.
I totally. It's really exciting what's happening with you and Solvero. I love what you're doing. I love the wines. There's a purity in these wines that I really, really love. And I like the way you really showcase the vintage. And it's obvious in what I'm tasting. The vintage difference is obvious, but they're clean, they're pretty, they're well balanced. And I like how the alcohol level, it's on the lower spectrum. So well done, Allison. Thank you so much. I'm super thrilled for what you guys are doing in the Garnet Valley. And I believe that we're going to be in touch much more in the future.
I certainly hope so. Thanks for inviting me on. It's been fun.
Thank you so much. Good luck for the rest of your day. And yeah, we'll talk very soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, Allison. Have a great day.
Thank you, Allison. That's awesome. We'll see you soon. Wow, that's super, hey?
That's super cool. I love that. I mean, she's such a talented winemaker.
Yeah.
And to see the growth of the industry, especially in the off the beaten path area like that, in the development of the Garnet Valley.
Yeah.
It's really, really exciting. I mean,
exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, I mentioned it to her and I'll mention it again. I love how she played on the vintage. This is just a reflection of each and every vintage. It's pure. And you, Fruit Fly, just really dive into my 2019.
Yeah, so in the Okanagan here, we've had a lot of fruit flies the last month. Everybody has. Nobody is immune from the fruit flies.
No.
And the wasps.
So I would say here, because now, and I'm going to put my personal preference into that score coming up.
Okay.
I will give a slightly higher score to the 2019. I will go 89 plus for the 20 and 90 for the 19. We have beautiful wines here from Solvero. Here we are, 2019, 90 points. And Solvero 20, 89 plus. I can't wait. I want to see the development of that winery. I'm really excited. I heard some great thing about their Chardonnay. I had the chance, I believe it was with Rob Amersley at Black Market Wine Company that Rob brought one time the Pinot Gris as well from Solvero. So great things around coming up from that winery in the Garnet Valley, right off here in Summerland off the main highway. So really, really exciting. Another look here at the Solvero label. And yeah, stay tuned because we sure hope that in the near future we can do something with Allison and this newcomer. Price point on their wine here, it's a $40 price point, including tax. What do you think, Mira, of these two wines?
I really like them. I agree with you. I tend to slightly prefer the 19, but we are biased because we've tasted so many amazing 19 reds from the Okanagan that we're like, oh, it's a 19 red, right? So we're biased now.
A little bit.
But I agree.
You know, I don't want to cut you off, but 2020 produced, there's two schools of thought here. I know the 2020 team, there's a lot of people who really, really enjoy 2020.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, what are you talking about? 2020 is a much better vintage than 19. And I know that you and me have a little bit of
we have a thing for the 19.
Yeah.
They're just so like
elegant.
Elegant.
Exactly.
A little more delicate.
Exactly.
A little more complex and interesting. Hey, what did you give points wise to the upper bench?
Upper bench, it was 91 plus.
91 plus.
91 plus
Okay.
that we are at the high end of the spectrum. It's
Fantastic.
it's the leader in the clubhouse right now.
Right.
at
What were the
91 plus.
last other couple wines you tasted? I just
The
want to
two
make sure
Solveros.
I've got them all.
So Solvero,
I got those 90 and 89 plus.
yep, you got that right.
Okay.
And that's it. That's
Okay,
it. Now
great.
we're moving down the list to number 9 and 10.
Okay.
No, number 10 and 11. I mean,
Henry of Pelham and Corselets.
yep, you got that right. Okay, let's do
I really
that.
like Corselets. I really like Henry of Pelham. Hell, I love the. Oh, so let's get it on.
I remember having that chat with Karen Chapman. She's a flight attendant with Air Canada. And Karen works with wineries here in the Okanagan. She has a great knowledge of the wine. And Air Canada has Henry of Pelham on board. And when we did an offer with Henry of Pelham, like the price point are just fantastic. And anyway, she's telling me stories where like people on like frequent flyer on Air Canada, like, oh, sometimes like bash the Canadian wines and Canadian wines are not so good and this and that. And Karen likes to bring a little splash of Henry of Pelham, and people change their minds almost 100% of the time. So yeah. But we have here, this is the top of their line, though. This is the Spec Family Reserve. The top line of, they do it in Chardonnay, in Baco, and also in Pinot Noir. So it's Short Hill.
Thank you.
Here we go for you. You're triple dipping here.
Yeah,
This is
crazy
pretty
wines
sexy.
going on.
I love it. Love it. Love it.
Henry of Pelham.
Henry of Pelham, Spec Family Reserve.
And I do have to say the pizza has arrived. So we had that pork rillette earlier. I think it pairs pretty well with the Pinot. And now we've got this mushroom Alfredo sauce and chicken pizza. I'm really liking it with the Pinots. So if you're ever in a bind, you got to order pizza with your Pinot Noir.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Chicken mushroom Alfredo.
I like the floral. There's a nice floral aspect here on the Henry of Pelham.
Mm-hmm.
Like a really floral.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna snore my wine.
Uh-oh. Mike's saying you're not going to get the Spec Family Reserve line on your flight to Toronto. It's true. It's probably their entry-level wine, but they're still really good, very good value wine.
Oh, that's good. That is really good.
Mm.
We have the 19 vintage here.
Oh,
Really, really priming.
really long finish. That's
Long
fantastic.
finish, spicy finish, ripe fruit, but bright acid. The alcohol is not too high at 13 on the dot. This is really good. There's that nice oak flavors in the mid palate that I truly enjoy. It's not out of place. It's just part of the frame of the wine. It's oh wow, it's really good. Oof. I might have my first 92 points wine here.
No, you had a 92 with Mireille.
No, 91.
91?
Yep.
Oh, maybe I put it down wrong, did
Yeah.
I?
91.
Okay.
I'm sure she wished she had it. We're not far off. She was 91.
91. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, 91 for Lake Boat, 91 plus for Upper Bench so far. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
So Henry of Pelham. Oh, it's a terrible picture. I'm sorry. I just tried to get that picture.
Oh, this is good wine.
Yeah, I really enjoy the finish on that.
Talking about sub GI, this is sub appellation. This is Short Hill. Short Hill Bench is one of the smallest sub GI in Ontario. Okay, it might not be 92, but we're close. We're darn close. 91 plus here with the Henry of Pelham
91 plus. Okay.
91 plus. Really good. Really, really, really good. Okay. So from Short Hill Bench in Niagara, we're going to go all the way to the Similkameen Valley with the 2021 Courcelette Estate. Okay. Fashion, precision, and purpose. I like their slogan. Well done here. Oh, much more purple. If you blind taste me and I see that first, I'll call Malbec. That would be my first.
All right. I need some over here.
Yes,
I
that's
cleared one of my 4 glasses a little bit so I can try the next one. Thank you.
And if you can pass me these glasses there.
Yes. We have plenty of glasses now. We did a vertical of rosé going back to 2012 to 2022, Daniel Bontrain's rosés. And we went to rent glassware and we were appalled at the kind of glasses that these people rent out. They're like thick and
Almost flower vase.
like vases. Yeah, you can't drink like 10-year-old, 12-year-old rosé out of that. So we bought
perfumed.
a lot of wine glasses.
They have 300 and something, eh?
No, we have 120 here.
100? Oh,
120. Yeah, just
just
120.
120.
So
Really
they're not-
perfume. Really, really perfume. Raspberry jam, also a little bit of plum.
Oh yeah, I
Right?
love that nose. Holy cow. Oh, that's a dreamy nose. That is really cool.
Mm.
Henry Pelham, you said 91 plus?
Mhm.
Okay.
Super spicy. It's a little hot though.
Well, it's also just recently opened. So this is why things can change the second day.
235 cases produced. It's full body.
Oh, I love that.
You bitch. Sorry.
There was a
Yeah.
fly in your.
Fly just like landed and right in there.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't a wasp that stung you.
Oh, I crushed them before you do anything.
Yeah.
This is good.
Oh, I love that.
It's really big, spicy, it's full body, but there's a little extra alcohol that I would like to have it tamed a bit. That's where I go from high score to maybe a 90.
And Carl has left.
Completely shut off.
Shut off. Okay. Well, do you want to get back in there?
I would love to.
Go ahead.
Do you? I would need to go to the bathroom too.
Yeah, why don't you go to the washroom? I will chat here about
Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir, I guess. That's what we're chatting about. So you guys have to help me out. Carl has to go to the bathroom. So this is what happens when we go live for so many hours. We started 2 hours and 20 minutes ago. And we're probably going to go for at least another couple of hours. So if you've been here, please put in the comments, where you're tuning in from. If you have some Pinot Noir open, I know that 2015 Martin's Lane, Daryl's been teasing us about that beautiful wine in his glass, but tell us what's in your glass if you've got something open, or if you don't, tell us what your favorite Pinot Noir is right now, especially if it's Canadian. But even if it's not, tell us what you're really into for Pinot Noir these days. And also where you're tuning in from, because it's kind of fun. This country is very large, this Canada of ours. And we do have members from coast to coast. Lots of fun. So yeah, let us know what you're up to in the comments. I am going to go over here and do a quick little recap of what we've done so far. So Carl's highest score so far is 91 plus. And that's been given to 2 wines, which is the Upper Bench Pinot Noir 2021 vintage and the 2019 Henry of Pelham Spec Family Reserve Pinot Noir. We also have a 91 for Lakeboat Pinot Noir 2021 from Caledon in BC. And we got a 90 from Solvero Winery in the Garnet Valley in Summerland. So really outstanding wines. We've got some more 90s coming out of Westcott Estate Pinot Noir 2020 Mythology Vineyard Pinot Noir, both from, or that one from the Okanagan. So yeah, very, very spoiled over here I am. And if you're tuning in, I would love to just connect with you and hear what you're up to, what you're tasting these days, and what you like. Carl's going to have to hurry up when he gets back from the bathroom because we're less than like a third way through. I think we've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 from my count wines down, and we have 43 total. So whoever hasn't been tasting 14 wines in the last couple of hours, tell me what that math is. I think 43 minus 14, 29. We have 29 wines left in our Pinot Noir tasting marathon. So yeah, we got to start moving. It's 5:24 Pacific here. We're 2 hours, 24 minutes in. And at this rate, we're going to be here till like 9 p.m. So as soon as Carl gets back from the washroom, we're going to encourage him to put a move on it. But you know what? We had 3 amazing winemaker interviews with Alison Moyes from Solvero Winery. We had Mark Simpson from Mythology Winery. We had Mireille Sauvé from Lakeboat Winery. They all came here either virtually, or Mireille actually came in person because she's nearby. So yes, StreamYard. So Carl is just getting reconnected here. I just filled everyone in on your recap of your scores so far.
Thank you.
And I was just saying that we've got to put a little move on it. You don't have any more interviews coming up. So we got 29 more Pinot Noirs to taste. We are about a third way through. And at this rate, we'd be here till
we're gonna hit darkness.
9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern.
Okay.
So we're going to start moving a little bit faster.
Okay.
That's all good.
Okay.
And I'm going to drop in the comments. I have a spreadsheet going of Carl's scores. So if you're curious which wine we're on, what's the score,
where is it from, all this kind of stuff.
Okay, I'm back. Whoops, I'm back. I had to go to the bathroom.
It happens when you're live for this many hours. Yes.
Okay, so now, let's do 2. Okay, 2 at a time. I was instructed to move a little faster. I know sometimes I don't really listen. I don't listen very well to. If you talk to my elementary and high school teacher, they all say the same thing. I don't listen. Okay. So here we're going to do Lakeside Cellar 2020 vintage from the same vineyard than the Blanc de Noir, the Testalinden vineyard in Oliver, and one of my very favorite Pinot producer in the country. This is Clausen Chase from the Clausen Chase vineyard in Prince Edward County. Yeah?
Yeah. Oh,
there you go.
He just sprayed those all over the lawn. I guess we only have so many glasses. So, okay, fine. So this is the Clausen Chase 2020.
Look at the difference of color.
And this is, what's the other one?
Lakeside Cellar.
Cellars. So
Okay.
BC and Okanagan. Okay, yes, there is a difference. It's hard to tell on my screen. What? You had a fruit fly?
3.
Oh, they attacked your glass while you went to the bathroom. Horrible.
Okay, let's do that again. Now, I have to make sure that we don't pour too much because tomorrow we'll have people coming over.
Quite a few people stopping by. If you're in the Okanagan, we're doing an open house tomorrow from 2 to 4. If you want to actually taste these wines yourself, you can. So it's the first time we've done that, and there's been quite a strong response. So that's exciting.
The Lakeside is corked.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one I have is the Clausen.
Nope.
No. Let's see if I can tell which one's corked, okay? Right now, I'm going to guess this one. You said this was the Lakeside? I thought this was the Clausen. That was the first one. Is this the corked one?
Yeah, the darker.
You smell it
No, this
and
is,
tell me if it's the corked one, because that's the one I guessed.
No, it's not.
No? So they say only 40% of
Yeah.
people can tell
Now get your
if
nose.
it's corked.
Get your nose in there now. Close
Now
your
I can
eyes.
tell it's corked because you told me it's corked. Now I can smell the cork.
Okay, so
Carl can tell if
Lakeside.
it's corked. I got to tell you guys something. We were at a tasting with a master of wine that was leading the tasting. They went through all these expensive wines, and Carl was like,
That was like we had like 12 wines in front of us, and we were at
"Yeah."
the wine
And
number
everyone's
8.
talking about wine number 8 and this and that. And like 2 minutes in, Carl's like, "This wine is very corked," and he calls over the master of wine, and he's like, "This wine is corked," and the guy's like, "Oh my God, you're right." So,
Yeah.
it's not always easy to tell. That's why you need someone like Carl around.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so on the nose, right on the nose, I can tell you so far we have 191 plus wine. Okay, it's the upper bench is the leader right now, the highest score. I can tell you this wine only on the nose, plus and chase, it's the top wine of the night so far.
Woo.
The nose is
Let me smell it then.
incredible. Cherry, raspberry. I can smell the depth of that wine. Mm. Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Carl's excited. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, Carl's really excited.
Mhm. Mm.
Mm.
Holy fuck, that is good.
Is this the one we had at the master class
No.
in Niagara? No, it's
No.
a different one.
We had a Chardonnay in Niagara.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
This is 94 points. I'm not
Excellent.
going like a little, no. I'm not climbing by half a point. This is a 94 points.
Wow.
Holy shit. There's a white pepper at the end. There's 2 or 3 layers of fruit spread with vanilla and caramel in each and every layer. Holy man, holy moly. Yeah, world class, mind-boggling good.
Amazing.
Fuck yeah. Oh, that is good.
Woo.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice grip. I mean, a little grippy tannin, but I love it. It's 2020 vintage. 12.5% alcohol. That's what I love with Peck. That's what I love with Prince Edward County. Big kick-ass vintage. Even in Prince Edward County, 2020 is still 2020. Big. But they managed the alcohol to give me a Pinot at 12.5%. Put that in your bag and go shop with that. This is the freaking wow.
Yeah, baby.
Holy shit that it's good.
So now you can tell when, like Carl says, 91 or 94, there's a big difference in his mind.
It's exponential. It's definitely the difference between 89 plus and 90 points. It's minimal. But when we get to that level,
There's a big difference between 93 and 94. 94 and
absolutely,
95.
absolutely. It's not like the
95,
link.
96.
No.
Yeah.
And this is 94 plus.
Oh, okay.
This is mind-bogglingly good.
Okay. Well, if you're stopping by tomorrow for our open house, that one is probably going to be gone sooner than later. And I don't think for this one we're doing any kind of rationing. So if you want to taste that one, you want to at the beginning.
Okay, and put that something else. Listen to me here. It's $36 tax in. If you look at the top wine here, okay, Mission Hills prospectus, including tax, it's $97.85. Okay, $100. And you know what? Fuck that.
You're gonna taste it side by side?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm doing right now.
All right. It's getting exciting now, guys.
Okay.
I should go get some popcorn.
Okay. Fuck that. Want to play ball? We'll play ball, okay? We'll play ball here. We'll play serious freaking balls. Here, 36 bucks, Claus and Chase, okay? Claus and
Including
Chase,
tax.
including tax. We're going to go with the highest, the most expensive wine of the night. Prospectus from Mission Hill, the Legacy Series, $97, including tax, okay? 3 times the price. Let's see.
Almost.
Yeah, almost. Okay. Oh. Give me a
Okay,
glass.
wait, here. Yeah, hold on.
Here, babe. Okay.
Okay. So that's the
Okay.
that's the $100 wine.
Yeah.
This
Okay, we're talking about the different vintage. It's 3 years difference. We
So-
have a 2017 vintage, okay, with the prospectus.
Okay. And I'm gonna pour myself the Claus and Chase because I still don't know if I screwed up the.
No, you didn't. I would have not let you do that.
I need a glass. What are you doing? Where's
Oh.
my glass? Okay, stole my glass. Thank you. Okay, so this is the Clausen. This is the Mission Hill Prospectus. Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, nice nose on the Clausen. Ooh, really nice nose on the Mission Hill.
A little bit more earthiness on the Mission Hill.
Yeah, I really like the nose now. Okay, I'm excited. So I've tasted the Clausen. I'll do it again. You're right. That is fucking good. That is really fucking good. The Clausen Chase. Okay. The Prospectus. Yeah. $100 wine with tax. Okay.
It's a good wine.
That's good.
It's a good wine.
Mm-hmm. Really lengthy. Still going. Still going. Still going.
It's a good
still
wine.
Going, still going.
It's showing well. It's a 2017. We're talking about a 6-year wine Pinot here. I mean, it's very delicious. I can't trash that wine. I can't.
That's a really good wine.
But it's not Claus and Chase. It's not pound for pound. At the same level, let's forget the price. If you blind taste me on that, I would definitely say that Prospectus is a more expensive wine than, let's say Prospectus is wine B. I would say, yep, wine B is more expensive than wine C. Is it better? No, it's not.
Oh.
No.
No,
There's much more flavors definition on the Claus and Chase. It's cleaner, it's brighter. Yeah, the flavors definitions are much obvious in the Claus and Chase. More texture on the Prospectus. Now, pound for pound, I do 94 plus versus 93. And now you put triple the price. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I have a beef against Mission Hill? No, I don't.
So that's a bias,
I don't.
But
I don't.
we'll have to blind taste you and see
Yeah,
if it's exactly
you should.
the same.
You
So
sure?
what did you say for the Claus and Chase? You said 94 plus
Mhm.
before we tasted this other one. You said 94
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah, Prospectus is really good.
It's
Really,
really
really, really good.
So here's my thing. I seem to have expensive taste in things. And especially when it comes to wine, I'm discovering I like old wines. I like expensive wines. I never would have guessed this about myself because I like when I go to the store and I get a really good sale on or something. But holy cow, when I taste a really good wine, I'm like, oh, it's worth every penny of that $200 or whatever it is. Okay. It's crazy. But yes, I do.
93 points for the Prospectus.
I do really like that Prospectus.
93 points.
93. Okay.
Yep.
Because you're taking into account the price point.
That's it.
Yeah. So there's interesting chat recently about price points. Andre Proul, I think is his name. He did a podcast on trying to kind of expose some wine writers, and I don't know, I didn't really get that part. There was some kind of personal beef going on with some other wine writers, but he was saying that when you take price into perspective, then kind of muddles things up a little bit. And I want to make it clear that when Carl takes things into perspective on price point, it's like 1 to 2 points difference. It's not like no. You speak for yourself. Hear it from the horse's
1 point
mouth.
at the most.
1 point at the most. Okay, so
That's where I go plus half a point here and there. It's very obvious. Like in this case, there's a swing of 1 point total. It can't be more than a point
okay,
at a certain level. That
because this podcast was saying, controversy. There was some like wine writer that rated an $8 wine 98 points. And it flew off the shelves, and people were like, "Oh, a $98.8 wine." And she was like, "Yeah, compared to other $8 wines." And that is not how Carl does it.
No.
Yeah, so
And
it's
everything is on the same scale.
yeah,
The 100 points, the $100 and the $8 are all on the same scale.
mm-hmm.
If the
Where you might tweak it is like, okay, because it's so much more than I thought it is, I'm going to give it a point or half a point
if
less.
the $8 is so over delivered,
Mhm.
I'll give him an extra point.
Right.
If the $100 overwhelm, like really underwhelming,
Mm.
I'm gonna take a point away.
Mm-hmm.
But that can't be more.
Yeah. And I mean, you could say, let's taste them blind and all this,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, Carl is pretty much always bang on,
I mean,
whether it's blind or not.
this so far, it's the shit.
It's the shit.
It's
Okay.
the shit. It is the shit. I mean, $36 tax in, incredible. I mean, the prospectus is good. I have to say, it's a luxury wine. It doesn't give me as much as that. In terms of flavor definition, no, sorry, it doesn't.
And I'm excited because I finally understand the reason why a wine's $100. I never understood, and Carl would always we'd go to these parties in Calgary, and people would always ask him "Oh, what's the difference between an $80 wine and an $8 wine?" And Carl would be like, "Oh, $72."
Do you want my calculator?
I get it. I totally get it, because yes, $36.97. Okay, I do get more out of the $97 wine. There's more length. There's more complexity. They're very similar, though. That's the crazy thing with this particular one. I want to taste another one that's pass me the $24 wine that we had. The $25 tax in.
Oh, it's inside.
It's inside. I already took it in. Okay, later. You guys hang on. I'm
Here.
gonna go get it,
Yeah.
and we'll taste the least expensive and the most expensive
Side by
side
side.
by side. Seriously, because I get it now. I've done that a few times, and now I get it. It's like the finish is longer, the complexity is different. It's almost like a spiritual experience when you taste a really fucking good wine.
Oh, it's sexual.
Sexual.
It
I
is.
love it.
It
Yeah. Okay.
It is. I mean, it is.
And we had one the other day, the 2015 milestone from Riverstone. And that was an out of body experience.
Yeah.
I dreamt about that wine for 3 days. I was like, wow, and that's $125 wine. Yes. But I'm getting it now. I never understood how someone could spend $125 on a bottle of wine, but now I get it. I
Okay.
get it. I mean, if you're going to spend $125 on a concert, $125
That's
good wine, just as good. Just
So
as
we
entertaining.
have here 3 wines. We have Haywire 2021,
Okay.
$38. We have Tender Hope, 2019 at $40. And we have Plot wine at $40 as well.
What that's coming up?
The three wines that I have in front of me
So
here.
you're gonna taste.
Okay.
Good. Good to know.
So now they're all between 30 and 40. Like, I mean, like really similar price point. The
Right.
three are from BC and two different vintages, I believe. Yeah, two 2021 and one 2019. Tender Hope is from Kelowna. Haywire is from Summerland, and the fruits are from the Garnet Valley, and Plot are from Caledon. So, and a second winery with fruit from Caledon, BC. So I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, let's taste the Tender Hope first.
Tender Hope must be sold out of this one. I don't see it on their website. No? Hasn't been released.
It's sold out,
Sold out. Okay.
but still, I wanted to open it. It's fresh. Yes, you're right, Daryl. You're right. Absolutely. It's off. Yeah, no, she can't go there. Can't go there. I'll end up like being a member of the Domaine Le Romani Conti and having to sell the house and sell the kids. So yeah. So Tender Hope, little problem here, and there's a hole in the mid palate. Little hole here. 19. I like the nose. I like the
Which one? Let me
Here.
taste it.
I like the nose. I like the first. I like the first approach, but there's a little yeah.
Mm.
It's really nice, really round at the opening, but kind of dive down quickly. So I will go with 89 points here. Tender Hope, 89. Like it's really nice texture though.
I love that wine too. It
So
all depends what you're doing. I mean, it all depends what you're up to, right? If I am having this mushroom and Alfredo and chicken pizza, I want that Tender Hope wine with it. Let me try.
Haywire is very well structured.
Mm.
That hole is feel in there. I quite like that. Nice finish.
Mm.
This is well made. That's a point above Tender Hope. My opinion here will go to Haywire, wine number 15 at 90 points. It's good. It's good. I mean, I can recommend that to anybody. Absolutely.
Yeah, and 90 points is your kind of like benchmark for like
Good wine.
go and get a case of it because you
Yeah.
won't regret that. Like,
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Mhm.
And Plot, so Plot, it's a more natural wine. These are like there's a little more. How you can define Plot's producer? A little bit more funky.
Well, I love what they do with their labels. I mean, look at this. Super fun.
The nose really perfumed. Lots of flowers.
And they have
Violet.
probably the best label we have ever seen in terms of the information they put on there. There's the tasting notes. There's where it's from. They actually take the geolocation map off of Google Maps and put it right on their bottle. They put the blend, they put the RSTA, whatever it is, the cases, like all the info you wish you had is all there. It's fantastic.
I like that wine too. Nice spice in the back end. Really good. Great mouthfeel. It's very well made. That's probably the best out of the three. Did you try it? Yeah.
The Plot?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
This
that
is
nose.
yeah, it's very floral. It's about
Really
perfumey. Very
floral.
like perfumey. You know what?
It's a nice nose.
Yeah, no, this is the best out of these three wines.
Wow.
Absolutely. It's really
Ooh.
good, eh?
Yeah.
$40.
Yeah.
I mean,
Benchmark that against my $97 wine here that I like.
I mean,
Mm.
it's 90 plus for sure. I might even give 91 to plot.
This is the thing about the expensive wines, okay? You taste them side by side with other wines that are really good. Like Plot, that is a really good wine. But then I taste my $97 wine here, and I'm like, oh, it's a whole nother level.
Yeah. No, I agree.
In my
Like,
opinion. All right. All good.
would you mind to bring these guys inside?
I will definitely bring them inside, although it is very chilly out here, just so you know.
Okay. Or
All right. So Plot, you gave how many points?
91.
91.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're getting there. It's
And
Okay.
what did you give? What was the Haywire?
Haywire 90.
90. Okay.
You know what? Might just let's go 89 plus for the Haywire.
Okay.
Okay. And 90 plus for, you know what? 90 Haywire, 90 plus. Okay, sorry. It's serious here, okay? 89 plus, no, 90 plus.
90 and 90 plus. 90 plus for
The
Plot?
plot, yeah.
not 91.
No, 90 plus.
Okay. I always just go with it with Carl because actually, like, what happens is he does this. I can do it blind. I can do it without telling him the price. I can do all kinds of things. And pretty much every time he's bang on within half a point or a point of every other wine critic that's rated that wine. It's pretty interesting. So
Okay, we'll do
what are we doing next here?
Rose Hall Run,
Rose Hall Run.
Code.
Code. Oh, so Code is the one we don't even know the price of it because it's nowhere on the market, right?
Yeah, no, this one we do.
Oh, there's two codes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. So the 777 clone, we do know the price. It's 34 plus tax.
We'll do the other Haywire.
Okay.
And Tightrope Rubus.
Okay.
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 Let's start with the Tightrope 2021 Tightrope Rubus. Okay. Let's do that. 180 cases. 180.
Haywire, Tightrope, and what's that? The Rose Hall Run, right?
Yeah, Rose all around the Silver Fox Block Nedelko Vineyard. I can't wait to try them out.
And we met Bob Nedelko,
We sure did.
the grower, at our master class in Niagara, which was really cool. A really great guy. Nice guy. All right. So the first one you're tasting is?
Mm.
I better taste that too. Hey,
Mm.
this one. Which one is it?
Tightrope Rubus. Oh. Tobacco, spice, fruity but round and soft. Okay. Oh, and there's the finesse in there as well. There's the finesse that wasn't there in Plot, to be honest.
Okay.
Oof, this is good. And now, if you wonder why, all of these wines are all rated really high, you know what? It's because the wineries that we've first selected to be a part of it is they're all good Pinot producer, and second is the winemaker or the owner gave us some of their best stuff. So there's a reason why these wines are all really good.
Yeah. So there'd be a difference. It might be an interesting show to do where we just go to the liquor store and just buy a bunch of wines.
Yep. Yeah.
Because what we taste for you guys is already curated in a way.
Okay.
It's already like people are only sending us stuff they think is really worthwhile to share about, right?
That's it, because they want to show off.
Yeah.
They want to show off their best product. They know we have a big audience.
Yep. Well, we have a phenomenal community. That's what's exciting about it. Is you guys are raving fans of wine, and it's our mission to make you raving fans of Canadian wine. So we're really grateful for all your support and for all of your wine
There's a little flaws
fanaticism.
in this one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, a little sparkle.
Oh, okay.
So
The bottle is a little like probably we need a different bottle.
okay, so NA, haywire,
Darn it. I hate
haywire.
when that happens. Well, tasting 43 wines. What's the stats? Maybe someone knows the stats.
5%.
5% of wines.
5. Okay, 8 to 13%.
8 to 13% of wines can be like corked or flawed in some way.
Yeah.
And it's just the bottle. You just got a wrong bottle. So if we're tasting 43 wines today, we can expect anywhere from like 2 to 5 to have some kind of issue. So I'm glad you're here because you're identifying that. I would just drink it and by the 43rd wine be like, they're all great. They're all 100 points. So
2020. Where is that 2020 Garnet?
I'll tell
Valley?
you. So it's actually number 37 on your spreadsheet, Carl.
No, this is 2021.
2021.
Okay, number 30.
Okay.
Number 30.
You're right, 30. And
a 91 points for Tightrope Rubus. I really freaking like that Rubus.
okay, so the Garnet Valley Ranch, I already have a score of 90 here. I must have mixed the two.
That was the 2021 Haywire.
2021. Oh.
Haywire Pinot Noir at number 16.
And you just
at
tasted the
number
2020.
15. I just tasted the 2020 and the 2021.
Had
It's not tasted yet.
Okay. Oh, so I don't know where I got that score from. Okay.
So, okay.
I'll cross-reference Carl's spreadsheet at
Yeah.
the end.
Okay, let's do that. So these two are behind us. Now we'll do Rose Hall Run 2020 vintage Nedelko Silver Fox Block. I'm really thrilled for that. And yeah, so the night of the Pan Canadian, Rob Nedelko was there as a guest, and he came and he said, "Carla, would like to offer that to you." And this is the wine that we grow the grape, and because we tasted Rose Hall Run during our Chardonnay marathon, and we were blown away from the shards. So now this is a little gift from Rob Nedelko, and side by side with our friend Shea Code. So the Rose Hall Run are located in Prince Edward County, but the fruit is from the 20 Mile Bench.
Nice nose. You know, Pinot Noirs are starting to grow on me now. Like I said, you know, if you look at the flavor wheel, half of these flavors I don't like in real life. But tasting through so many amazing Pinots today, I like them. I like them. I do. And the nose on these too. So we've got the Rose Hall Run, and the other one is what? Oh, the code 777. Clone 7. No. Pinot Noir 2021 from Code. Okay.
It's a blend.
Okay.
Okay. Rose Hall Run has lots of complexity. Perfume. There's red fruit. There's floral. There's herbaceousness. Multi-layers. Code is really snappy. Tight. Grippy. Tightly knit. This is good though. This is really energetic. Like there's like a lots of vibration in that wine. Lots going on. Okay. It's interesting. A little bit of barnyard here with the Rose Hall Run. Forest floor. A bit more old school.
I wrote sold school. A little bit of sold school.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have 290 points here. They're very, very different. Completely different. Barnyard, whole, but big texture though with the Rose Hall Run. Soft and creamy. Lots of barnyard. Maybe a little bit of plum. And the code is really zingy, like straight to the point, directional, bright acid. Completely the opposite of the texture of the Rose Hall. But both, to me, in term of delivery, it's not about style, right? I don't judge wine. I don't rate wine in terms of their style, which one I love the most. It's about the quality in general. I'm at both here, 90 points. Two good wine, two wines who deliver their price point. Now we're getting into a little bit more. Well, Rose Hall Run, all in, it's $39 for single vineyard, single block. It's great experience. It's rich, it's round, it's 2020 vintage. I can't wait to see that wine to develop more. And I would say in terms of the code, it has to wait a little bit more. This one is too nervy right now, but it's really good. I know there's a lot going on in there. It's like really like, yeah, really energetic. So 90 points on both here.
90 points on both?
Yeah, 90 points on both.
Okay.
90, Rose Hall and Cove. Bitch.
Fruit flies.
So the code that I have is the one at the end, okay? The
Yes,
43.
I got that one. Okay.
Okay.
And tightrope.
Just-
What was your tightrope score?
91 for the Rubus.
1. Okay. And Rose
Okay.
Hall Run is 90.
Rose Hall Run is 90.
Do you recall what your score on the
Absolutely.
Courcelettes was?
90.
90.
90. I liked it, but there was maybe a little too much alcohol.
Okay.
Okay, let's do 13th Street 2021 Reserved Pinot Noir.
Okay.
Side by side with Meyer's Beefield. So this is a new label at Meyer. So the Beefield. I have no idea. I think it's all neutral oak. A little bit, I think maybe the entry level of the McLean Creek. And we have the McLean Creek that I'm going to put side by side with something else in a few minutes. But so the entry level of $32 wine for the Beefield, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going back here. Yeah. $36 including tax, and the 13th Street are turned. So we're like $3 apart here. No, I don't know.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, including tax, we're at $36.90 for Meyer Family and $40 for 13th Street. And this is in the spreadsheet. So if you're just stopping by, I have this little spreadsheet. Sounds good.
13th Street is much more brownish than the Beefield. Look at
I'm sharing it in the notes. So if anyone is curious which wine we're on and you want to see the live updates,
Yeah.
fun.
Look at the color, Mira.
These are my 2 new wines.
No, these are your two. You're two behind. And
Look at the ones in your glass. Okay, I see.
see,
Yeah.
So really different color here. So we have okay, camera. I don't know if you can see here on the.
Yeah, there's a more orangey.
This is
Tinge to
much
that one.
more brownish.
Yeah.
Anyway, deep brown, deep red, I would say. Mm. 13th Street Reserve, Creek Shore Appellation. Really good. Really, really good. You're up. 13th Street.
Okay.
Rarely disappointed with 13th Street, folks.
Yeah.
Rarely disappointed. Very complete wine. Grippy. It's funny, the grip is more on the front palate.
Yep. It's like the top of your tongue.
Yeah, it's intriguing. A little different here. A little backward, but delicious.
It's really nice.
Beefield.
You've sparked a discussion about corks, okay? Apparently, DM corks are where they're at. Shout out to DM corks.
Earthy for the Beefield. Great earthiness. Great texture. Tannin.
Ooh, the nose is so herbaceous, eh?
Yeah. I'll give the edge on at the 13th Street on these two. 90 plus and 89 plus.
So 13th Street is a 90 plus.
Yeah. 89 plus for the Beefield.
Okay, got it.
And 13th Street 90 plus.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
He asked me to speed up.
you're doing it. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. What are we next then?
Okay.
So we haven't tasted the code Cologne 777 yet, right?
No, we haven't.
We haven't.
Is it a request?
It's just, it was number 17 and we're on 23. So
So I won't do
you can't hold Carl to a schedule he's an artist. Okay. He's an artist.
Okay.
I understand. It's all good.
If you look around, against which one you would like me to put 777? Do you have any preference?
Well, I mean, have you had the black market yet?
Nope.
When is that? Oh, that's near the end.
It's because we don't have a price.
Because we don't know the price, Rob.
Oh, you know
If
what?
you're tuning in live, because he just texted me that they're sipping on the 2017 black market Pinot Noir right
Okay,
now.
well, let's do that. See here.
Says it needs a few minutes to open. Rob, we've had it open for like 2.5 hours.
Okay. Black Market
Just open.
2017. We'll do that side by side with Spearhead 2019. Okay, Spearhead, the Saddle Block 2019. Geez, it's almost like a Merlot on the
Okay, so tell me again, what are we doing here?
Spearhead and Black Market.
Spearhead and black market.
Spearhead
Got it,
and Black
okay.
Market.
So black market was at the end of our list because we didn't know the price. Because it is a back vintage, it's completely sold out. Oh, fruit fly, damn fruit flies. Completely sold out. Rob, the winemaker, is tuning in here and he says was 36 on release a few years ago. So I'm sure these days it'd be more like 50 or something, but good to know it was 36 on release. Oh, and Karen's having the 2017 Pinot Noir from Black Market right now too. With Rob or separately? This is pretty surreal if all three of us are having it in a different place at the same time. Pretty cool.
The last 3 bottles.
The last 3 in existence. Yeah. So the black market.
Sorry, I'm fishing here. I'm busy. Bitch.
Okay. So there's the black market and the Spearhead. Okay. Just getting that set up here. So Spearhead.
Good.
What price point we got here? It's a Saddle Block Pinot Noir, right?
Yes, the Saddle Block is the own vineyard in East Kelowna.
So that's nice because there's similar price points. So this one is 38 plus tax.
Yeah.
With tax, the Spearhead would be 43.80 with tax. And
We're talking about 2 years difference.
2017 for Black Market. and
2019
for Spearhead.
Yeah, Spearhead. It's at the very beginning of his age.
Are these? Did you fill these, babe?
No.
No, these are the old wines. I will just wait for you to taste yours.
Yeah, I would say that Spearhead here, it's at the very top of his curve.
Awesome. So Karen is tasting it with Rob at Black Market at the winery. So cool that you guys are tuning in, even though you're crushing grapes and working hard out there. That's fantastic.
So, do you want
Okay, so what did you just taste? The
Spearhead?
Spearhead. Okay,
This is
This is
Spearhead, Saddle
Spearhead.
Block 2019.
perfect.
There's a lot. This is big. This is powerful.
Mm,
There's a ton of structure.
yeah.
I mean, this is just getting going, just starting. Yeah. And I know that Daryl used to be a member at Spearhead. You may still. This is just getting started. Still grippy. Yeah, 13 months in French oak. I mean, yeah, this hasn't flinched at all. It's okay, big time here. I give that wine 91 plus.
It is a gorgeous wine.
Yeah, it's a serious wine. So now with Rob, it's much more delicate here with Black Market. You can see with the color, it's much more brown. 2017. I mean, this has passed the top of the curve.
Can you pass that to me? This is the Black Market now. Mm.
Super floral. Oh, geez, it's.
That looks
There's
a
still-
surprise for you, isn't it?
I mean, there's still juice in there. I mean, this is pretty. It's a pretty, elegant girl. I like that. Yeah, give that a 90 points. That's for
Yeah.
sure. It's a little
Mm.
pretty girl here. Well done, Ruby. I
A
mean,
nice Pinot Noir. So it's 2017. So we're talking 6 years out.
yeah. I mean, this wine is not gonna get better. I passed the curve, but it's not all
So-
the
so
way down.
What he's saying is if you have a few more bottles of this in your cellar, you guys,
Oh no, open that. Open it.
open that
Open
in the
it.
next year.
Don't hold on to that. It's not worth it. It's not gonna get better. That's no doubt about that.
And
But-
it's drinking
But
gorgeous right
what
now.
you have there, though, it's rewarding. I mean, it's
Very
fun. Personally, I'm not a person who geeked out on older wine. If you follow us by now, you should know that it's not something that but this is pretty. This is awesome. There's a
love that.
lot to get.
So as a
How many more
contrast,
glasses do you want?
I geek out on the
How many
older
more
wines.
glasses do you? Okay, I should take a picture of that.
So Rob, do you have any left of this Pinot Noir? We need to know.
So I was in the cellar with him.
Oh, are you?
And I know there's one box that I know that it's not full.
Oh, okay,
So-
okay, so maybe not. Okay.
There you go.
Five
See?
bottles.
See?
Okay.
I know I was down there with him, and yeah.
Okay, so that's something to say for some special things coming up in the next year or so, I guess.
Yeah, so Robbie, good job. I mean, that wine is pretty. This is, I mean, like I said, and you're probably going to agree with me, this wine's not going to get better. But 6 years in, I mean, yeah, well done. I like that. I mean, give that to my wife. She's happy. So let's go now with the other tightrope. I will do Tightrope, the Fleet Road 2021, and the 2020 code the clone 777, single clone, single vineyard. So there you go. We're gonna do that
So before you taste that 777 clone from
code.
Code
Yeah.
and the Tightrope, Andre Proul is in the house.
Hey.
Marcel tagged him. So thanks for stopping by, Andre. What you did is you did a great podcast. We really enjoyed it. So thank you for that. Shout out to you and thanks.
There you go, Andre. Thank you for joining us. That's awesome. Welcome to the Pinot Noir Marathon that we put together every year. So we have 43 different Pinot Noir.
We don't. So this is the first time we've done Pinot Noir.
Yeah, that's true.
Merlot. We have done Cab Franc. We have done Riesling. We have done Syrah, Cab Sauv, we have done Chardonnay, Rosé. So we do all these crazy varietal marathons. Hopefully, if Carl can start reviewing the wines a little bit faster, we might be done in the next 2 hours, but that's not the point. So, yes, Chardonnay.
There you go.
67 Chardonnays.
Absolutely. 67 we've done. Now, what do we have here? We have two. By the way, Andre, thanks for joining. Congrats for the great podcast that you put together. Really, really, really enjoy listening to that. It's well done. You're raising some good points. And listen, our industry is going to some different direction, and we need to strain up some stuff. But yeah, thank you for putting some energy and time into it. And welcome to our show. Welcome to Carl's Wine Club, and we're glad to have you in the house. Now we are what, Mira? Out of 43, we're probably 30 in. 30 Pinot Noir.
We're more than halfway through. What was your score on that back vintage of the Black Market
90 points.
unsanctioned Pinot Noir? I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
Really interesting, great wine. Right. And so now we are tasting what? What's your next
code?
one?
So we're tasting code
The
wine,
777.
the single clone, single varietal with a bottle with no label, because Shea Code just wrote it with his marker. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a single barrel of the clone 777 from 2020 from Okanagan Falls.
And why is it with no label, Carl?
Because
You can't just say that. I mean, there's 50 cases made,
yeah,
so that might be part of it.
yeah, maybe there was, anyway, I don't.
And this was before the winery started, I believe. No, the first year maybe. Anyway, we're very happy and lucky that we have this bottle, and we're really excited to taste it. I need my glass. I mean, you can't make those kinds of expressions and not give me some.
This is precision.
Oh yeah, baby.
Is it the one?
Stop pouring such big pours, because I won't be able to drink that much. Carl spits them out, but I like to enjoy a few sips here and there.
So we have two incredible wines here. First, okay,
Oh my.
code. I mean, is it? It speaks for itself. Single clone, single varietal, single vineyard. So precision, yes, of course. Its wine is very precise. That's the 7777 clone. I mean, there's some roundness, but there's some directional in there. Dark cherry, bright acid, nice little spice on the back end. Little hint of herbs, like I would say more fresh herbs, like basil. This is a terrific wine. I give it a 91 points. I would say I love the expression of it. And yeah, so there's no bullshit about that wine. You know where it's going. You go straight to the point, but there's a nice texture. It's not lean on the texture. So that's for the code 777 single clone. Code Wines is a new player on the market here in Okanagan Falls. For people who haven't heard, he does 4 single clone. He has the Dijon clone. He has the 115. He has the 777. He has a German clone, and he does all of them single. And he also do a blend, a field blend of the 4.
Which we tasted earlier.
But different vintage on the 2021, the one who's just been released.
And so you just gave that the code 777
91
points. Okay.
Yes.
Now you're on the tightrope.
I'm on the tightrope here. This is the Fleet Road vintage. And it's funny because I can't tell that there's wild ferment on that wine. I just can smell the wine for the wild ferment. You know, I wish I can use my phone here to take a picture. I think she has like 8 glasses.
I have many, many glasses. Many, many glasses. Graham O'Rourke is on. Graham, he is the winemaker of this amazing wine. Holy cow, that's awesome, Graham. So Graham's saying that, yes, there's wild ferment. Good guess, Carl Boucher.
That's my, yeah.
Always
terrific.
wild.
So
I didn't know that about tightrope. Okay, always
So
wild.
if I go to Rubus, I gave 91 plus to Rubus. And for the reason that I would say, did I say? Yeah, 91 plus. And Rubus was elegant. Rubus was fruity. Rubus has a beautiful definition. But it was really approachable. Lots of elegance. Here, that's much more serious though. We're looking at a little bit more old world style. I'm looking more of a, I won't say Pomar, but like this is more Côte de Nuit. Yeah. There's more earthiness, a little bit more mushroom on that. Yeah. There's a nice complexity in there. Really nice complexity.
Incredible kick of like milk chocolate at the very end. Do you get that?
I also get some spice at the end too. Okay, this is sick. Like, I mean, 91 plus with the Rubus, and I'm here, like, I'm trending to the same, and I might even go to 92 with this Pinot. Jeez, Graham, you're doing it. Wow, it's fantastic.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah. Me
That's
too.
amazing.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
And hey, I don't know. We got to explore this wild ferment thing a little bit more. Maybe we need to do a blind tasting, wild, not. I feel like Carl is getting really good at tasting wild ferment blind. And I think there's something to it. Like there's something really special to that wild ferment. It adds this layer of interesting, sexy complexity.
To me, I start with the nose and I get a little caramel on the nose. That's what start the triggeration of like, oh, that might be
the triggeration.
The triggeration. That's triggeration.
Yeah. Cheers, baby.
There you go. No, tremendous showing, last minute showing, Graham, or up to at 11 a.m. this morning. Well, no, earlier than that.
Actually, you're right. I totally screwed up. I said Graham's the winemaker.
Yeah.
Lindsay O'Rourke makes the wines. He's the farmer. But hey, this is like Carl and I, like you need both of you guys. Like this is very critical work on either side. Fleet is 667-777-115-828. 943. Those are all the clones. So now you know.
I thought he was sending Lindsay's phone number.
So now you know how much of a nerd Graham O'Rourke is when it comes to
one of the best grower in the Okanagan. One of the best grower in the Okanagan. I can tell great background with the bigger wineries in the past, but I mean he is running a tight ship on the Naramata bench. He knows the terroir of the bench. He knows his shit. So Graham, well done. These wines are fantastic. Please stop. Yeah.
You are doing an amazing job with these.
Absolutely. Wow. 92 points with the Fleet Road. We have a first winery who gets 90 points or better. Yeah, fantastic showing from Tightrope. So what I was saying, I didn't reach out to Graham or no one at Tightrope, and I post all of that crap about today, and I got a post this morning saying, yeah, maybe Carl forget about Tightrope. I'm like, holy shit, I forgot about Tightrope.
You forgot to go pick it up. and you
No,
were
I forgot to reach out to them.
to reach out to them.
So that's
Shoot.
why I had to text Graham. I was like, holy shit, sorry. So that's why I went last minute this
You
afternoon.
almost missed out on like
I sure did.
this beauty here.
Yeah,
Holy
I
cow.
sure did. Okay.
So Rob's saying the next tasting idea is Pinot clones.
Pinot clones. Okay, let's put that on the list.
Put it on the list.
Where is Tightrope Fleet 92 points? There you go. The 3 Howling Bluff were already tasted, guys, last week because we featured them. So how about, I'm not going back there. We're a little bit on the timeline here. If Mira can scoop up the offer from last week and give us the scores. I think the Crony was 91 plus.
Yeah, I think
The 3 Mile Creek was 90, and the Century Block 91 or something like that.
Howling Bluff.
So-
I'll put the link in there if anyone is curious to check, because Carl's got his complete tasting notes. We're not tasting them again, are we? You are.
No, I'm not.
Oh no.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, we're on a timeline here.
We're on a timeline. Okay, but we're going to talk about them briefly because we tasted them so recently. So your let's hear the Howling Bluff Crony Family Vineyard. You gave 91 points. Okay.
Okay, 91 to the Crony, 91
91
plus for the Century Block, and 90 for the 3 Mile Creek. Is that right? If I remember correctly?
Yes, you're correct.
There you go.
Yeah, I just double checked. Okay.
There you go. Sounds good. 91 here. So we are filled all the way to the 2021 chain reaction. That's where we're at. I would like to put side by side chain reaction and Bella Terra Vineyard. How about that?
That's fantastic. So yes, Cab Franc Marathon is coming up. Someone is asking here, one of our amazing VIP members. So it is November 4th, I believe. You're asking if it's November 5th. Let me double check the calendar. I think it's November 4th.
So I have chain reaction reserved here. Chain reaction from the Chain Reaction Vineyard,
Woo!
really close from Graham's and Tightrope and Howling Bluff. Actually, these are all on like 500 meters radius. These 3, but the difference is Chain Reaction is on the other side of the road. So upper road, where the terroir, the soil, is very different up there. So yeah, so we have Chain Reaction Vineyard, the 2021. I can't wait to try this. Now we're looking at wines like just around like $46 to $50. Okay, so including tax.
I gotta say something while Carl is tasting this, and you can interrupt me if you get all excited and need to start swearing about how amazing the wine is. I sent an email out about a mystery pack, and I've had quite a few members reply. Carl doesn't know this yet, but I said, you know, would anyone be interested in 6 mystery bottles that are Carl's highest rated? They're not always available, okay? So that's why I said a mystery pack, because it might not be his top 6. It might be his top 6 of 8 or something.
That Chain Reaction is darn right good, babe.
Yeah. So anyway, watch your emails if you're a member. Check out the mystery pack idea and hit me a note back, a reply if you're interested in that. I'll send you the details tomorrow once we know a little bit more about who the top 10 or 20 or so wines
Chain
are.
Reaction is really good. Oh, James Railton is joining us, and James
Hey.
is tasting Batchelder, the Hank Vineyard. Great. So, James, we have, I believe that the Batchelder that I have is the Saunders. I have Saunders open for tonight. So it's yeah, okay. So now chain reaction, absolutely stunning wine. They've been getting lots of praise lately by Anthony Gismondi, John Schreiner. Chain reaction is getting more and more attention, especially from what they do with their Pinot Noir. And this is real good.
I like the expressions on your face as you're
This is real pretty.
very pretty.
This is 91 points.
Yeah.
This is real pretty. This is real well made. There's a nice structure. The frame is firm. The tannins are soft though. There's a bright acid. There's red fruit. There's that rhubarb, strawberry pie, but like a layer of vanilla. It's really well done. I like that. Like very well made. 91 points here. Hey, there's not many though, but did we talk about the wine of distinction?
No. So is this why you're not rating so many wines over 92? I don't know.
No, it's not that. It's just because that's what it is.
Yeah. So we want to put it like 92 points and above, we feel is like a wine of distinction. When Carl, like we were talking earlier, the difference between 93 and 94 is a big difference. 94 to 95 is a big difference. The difference between like 88 and 89 or 89 and 90, maybe not as huge, right? But definitely when you hit that 92 point mark and above, this is a wine that is like, wow. Very special, right? And it's just a matter of like how wow it is, right? So maybe you, Carl, after you spit out your wine, you can tell us more about that.
You can tell the difference who's spit, who's not spitting.
So I just want to reply to our member who's asking, Cab Franc Marathon is November 5th. It is November 4th. If you are local in the Okanagan, you can come to our open house on the 5th and taste all the wines that we've opened on the 4th. But it is November 4th.
So I just tasted here the Bellaterra 2020 vintage. Our friend Marcel Morgenstern and Fred DiProfrio at Bellaterra always do some fantastic stuff. Their 2020 vintage, especially the Cap Franc, who made it to my top 10 wine of the year last year with the 94 plus points, was extremely impressive. Their Meritage and the Merlot still need a little bit of time. The Cap Sauv, anyway, all of that 2020 vintage. Very spectacular. Yes, 2020 was as well suited for Pinot Noir, especially for the 4 Mile Creek appellation. It's really warm. Niagara on the lake. Terroir, maybe not. This wine is good. This is a great Pinot. It's hot. It's big. It's a 14% alcohol wine. It's 4 Mile Creek appellation. It's expected. There's well balanced. It's soft. It's fruity. There's a hint, a little hint of.
I just want to see your from Chain Reaction.
Yep.
Does it say pendulum on it?
It doesn't.
No.
No.
So I guess
No.
those are two different ones.
Yeah. It's the estate vineyard.
Okay. Estate. Okay. Different.
So for Marcel, it's a 90 points here at Bellaterra. 90 points, wine number 36. It's a 90 points. Well done though. Here, so let's go now. We'll do two of our top Chardonnay, BC Chardonnay for the Chardonnay Marathon was Meyer Family Vineyard, and one of our top Ontario Chardonnay was Batchelder. So now, how about we do Meyer Pinot versus Batchelder Pinot? I have both right here. The McLean Creek Road for the brand new release 2022 at $48 for Batchelder and $46 for Meyer. Okay. There you go. So we do two heavyweight here. Batchelder Saunders, the Warren Saunders 100. So the year of so Warren Saunders is a grower in Ontario on the Beamsville bench, and the year that they made that one, it was his 100th birthday. So here you go, and this is the new release of the McLean Creek Road from Okanagan Falls by Meyer. Did I? Shit.
Mix them up.
I don't know which one I.
Well, you have to pour them again then.
Yeah, I'll pour them for you.
Thank you.
So smell them. So
Yes. Well, that's the crazy thing is Carl can like tell which ones
Batchelder.
really smell. Imagine that. So you gave Bellaterra 90 or 91?
90.
90. Chain reaction?
91.
Baby. Okay.
There you go. So let's start
Let's soak
with.
it out.
Yep. There you go. This is Meyer Family Vineyard.
Yeah, so Mike has high expectations for the Batchelder. I mean, so do we. I mean, we've tasted, and the beauty is Batchelder makes so many single vineyard Pinot Noirs, so many single vineyard Chardonnays, right? Gamay. Those are the only things he makes. Gamay, Chardonnay, and Pinot Noir. And never have I been ever disappointed with a Batchelder wine.
That's true, Mira.
That's true. So which one you got there? Woo! Spraying those wines on the yard. Okay.
Okay. Let's do that again. Now, Meyer. McLean Creek Road. Very young. Very nervy.
Nervy. I
Yeah,
love it.
very nervy. There's that classic minerality of Okanagan Fall that I get a lot from McLean Creek Road Vineyard. But yeah, lots of tension. This wine needs to calm down a little bit. I got the pop of oak as well. So this needs to come down. Tons of potential though. Like I know the site, I know the product, I know I've tasted 4 or 5 vintages already. There's no doubt 2022 is going to be a great wine. Really young. So I'm not going to rate that just yet. I need to see that wine calm down. Okay. This is Yannick. This is 2022. So the brand new release of Meyer McLean Creek Road. It was bottled, I would say, a month ago, probably. So it's
On a little bit.
yeah, it's still it's still pretty agitated. Let's put it that way. Okay. Now, Batchelder 2019. Okay.
Good nose, I guess.
Yeah. Lots going on the nose. And I've seen the comments. Like, I mean, yes. Like, Have I been disappointed with Batchelder? No, never happened. Sometimes the expectations are too high. He can't make 96 points every single bottle, but you know,
From Batchelder, you have some bottles, Yannick?
which one?
Fantastic.
Which one?
Yes, which ones? We're jealous. Fantastic.
Okay, so now let's see. Here it's the Saunders from the Beamsville bench. Now we're gonna try it.
Mm.
Mm. Mm. Finesse. Really like a very fine wine, a very delicate wine with a beautiful frame. This is solid. This is not even like it's still climbing the ladder. Still climbing the ladder. There's beautiful red fruit. No doubt about that. From raspberry to cherry. There's a nice tannin, a little spread of vanilla. This is beautiful. This is pretty. As I was expecting from Batchelder, it's pretty, but there's a generosity in that wine as well. I mean, it's not all over the place. There's certain precision into it, but there's a certain generosity. It's not super tight. There's some softness. It's a little loose. I love that. Rob, it's Beansville Bench appellation. Yeah.
Oh, so Yannick has not yet tried the Batchelors. He has some in his cellar. Yannick, gotta try these. Batchelor is one of our favorites. It's a revelation.
I mean, it's definitely 92. Nothing under that, that's for sure. Yeah, to me, 92 plus, 92. We'll start it at 92 tonight. We'll see what's going on tomorrow when we retaste. But yeah, NA for Meyer. I want to wait at least until tomorrow for Meyer. We'll see. 92 plus for Batchelder.
Hey, beauty.
Okay. Here, like I'm running out of room. We are what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wines before we're done. Okay. So, and by the way, $48 all in for.
Jeez. Sorry.
Okay.
$48 all in for Batchelor.
Yep. Let's do. Okay.
Okay.
Next two. Let's do Carlo Estate from Prince Edward County, the 2018 vintage.
Because I gotta say, I mean, we're almost done. Like six wines.
Yeah, 6 wines. 6
Okay,
wines
so
to go.
Carlo, 2018. I'm gonna put it in the comments for anyone curious.
Okay, 2018 Prince Edward County, Carlo. And Fort Barons from Lillooet, the Reserve Pinot 2020.
Fort Barons.
Okay, versus Carbon, not versus, they're not against each
No.
other.
That's the, you know, we chatted with somebody, very special gentleman who was involved with the Judgment of Paris when Steven Spurrier got all the wine critics together and they tasted blind and they all voted California wine #1 against all these French wines. And he said the only regret was that it became too much of a competition. And wine is not about that,
That's true.
right?
We had that conversation with Marc Nadeau yesterday, actually. Nice conversation. We've been connecting with him quite a bit. And Marc, who runs the l'Académie du Vin in Toronto, and well, also in different countries. But yeah, so that was a great conversation. So Carlo at $65 and Fort Barons reserved at 40. So yeah, there's quite a bit of a difference of pricing here. So let's go with Fort Barons first. It's a low alcohol wine, very fresh, red fruit, bright acid. Great grip. I mean, it's a good wine. It's a good wine. 48.50. I mean, it's a taste of Lillooet. I'm happy to have that in my glass. I'm happy to put that into that context.
Do you want to pass it over? I just want to
I
give
sure would
the
like
mirror.
the mirror scale.
Scale, okay?
So we'll go with a
Thank you.
89 plus. That's my pen here. 89 plus for Fort Barons.
Mm. Very nice long finish.
I will keep the Carlo for a bit here, and I will pour the Westcott Reserve 2020 vintage.
This is Vinemount Ridge appellation.
Yeah, Vinemount Ridge. When we talk about wild ferment, this smells like wild ferment to me.
Now, you put here New French. Does that mean 100% or do you know exactly? Because
I don't know what's the percentage.
No, okay. Just New French. Okay. It said 0%, and I figured that's probably not what you
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
0%?
That means there's no new oak.
Okay, okay.
So it's second feel neutral.
More
Oh, okay.
neutral. Okay. That's a real
Okay,
Yeah.
this is complex here.
Hmm.
Okay, now we're talking here big serious wine. We're talking in the area of a wine of distinction here. This is around the 92. I have no problem with that. Yeah, soft, round, supple, but also it's bold, it's rich. Malt is very well layered. Oof. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, complex, long finish, spicy, a little bit of herbaceousness, ripe fruit. This is delicious. 92 points. Westcott Reserve 2020 at $50. Yes, absolutely. Worth every single penny of the $90, of the $50. Yes.
50 including tax.
50 including tax? Yes, please. Oh, this is long. Very, very long. Oof. Yeah, 92 plus. 92 plus. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. This is yeah. Okay. Let's do Garnet Valley Ranch. 2021 here. This is the new project of Haywire. So they just opened a new ranch in the Garnet Valley. So we're talking about high altitude, small vineyard Pinot Noir in the Garnet Valley near Solvero.
And I'm sorry, did you already rate the Carlo?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay.
Because it was like off the price point. So I wanted
Oh,
to
you wanna-
wait a little bit.
Wait till you have something similar,
Yeah.
which would probably be Leaning Post
Yeah, exactly.
at that price point.
Okay. Garnet Valley.
So Rob is saying from Black Market, we tasted his 2017 Pinot Noir, totally sold out everywhere. He just opened his 2015 and he should have sent that one, he says.
Oh, yeah?
Crap, a much bigger wine, warmer vintage, same vineyard. But it's also the vineyard that Mark Simpson sources his grapes from now for his Pinot Noir for the mythology. So that'll be interesting. Really cool. All right, so you're on the 2021 Garnet Valley Ranch Pinot Noir, Haywire.
Yep.
Haywire Winery. What do we got here? It's $45 plus, I believe.
Nope.
So
Yeah, $51.85.
including.
This is a good wine. This is a good wine. There's some complexity. There's some length. At that price, I'm looking for more.
Okay.
I mean, I shouldn't, I guess. It's good. It's really
Very
good.
good.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Ooh, I like that color.
Yeah,
Looks like
it's
a
not like
diamond.
it's elegant. It's well made. It's well put. This is a 90 points.
Cheers.
It's a 90 point. Cheers. I like it actually. It's my favorite of the 3A wire.
I get a teeny bit of the milk chocolate on the finish on that too. So I've decided that's my thing about Pinot Noir. I like the milk chocolate.
Okay.
That's the only wine I really get a lot of milk chocolate on. So 90 points.
90 points.
Okay, awesome.
Now let's move on to the newly bottled Da Silva 2021 from next, like on the other side over there.
Right across the lake from us.
Bolder, bigger. You can see it's darker. Mm-hmm.
That's right. Mike says he can see a narrow bed bench right through your glass. It's true. It's like literally.
Tobacco.
Mm.
Now you talk about chocolate right there. Spice. Dark fruit. This is a bold Pinot. This is truly Da Silva style. I mean, where's the alcohol level here? 13.9. Yeah. So that 2021 Pinot, 91 plus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I am really liking the Pinots from Da Silva. This is 2021. We tasted the 2018 at our club event.
Yeah.
Just like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
It was fantastic. It was showing really nicely that day. And it was a pretty spectacular day, we have to say. So that helps. It makes the wine taste even better when you're in company of really good people, doesn't it?
Let's finish here with Carlo. 2018 from Prince Edward County.
And then we got Leaning Posts, right?
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
Okay, Carlo 2018. I would believe that it might be one of the best wine that they've made. Yeah. No, it doesn't go through. I had a sip of the 2021 Da Silva prior to that, and Carlo doesn't go through.
Okay.
Completely blocked.
It's interesting when you taste wine side by side, how you can tell
89.
things differently. Like it's
Yeah.
interesting that things stick out at you more, that you're like, wow, this is truly exceptional when you taste it side by side with other wines.
Oh,
When it's by itself, every wine is special, right? Like every wine.
no, it's easier to put everything in perspective when you have them side by side.
Exactly.
Compare
Yeah.
that when it's you have to piece it out.
Yep.
Always try to go back to your memory
Mhm.
to really rationalize and bring everything to perspective.
Right. So what you're saying is the Carlo is maybe not at the 91 plus level. Something else, right? What do we got?
Oh, 89.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me taste it. We're almost at the end, you guys. Thank you for staying with us. This is amazing. We said we would go back and taste the least expensive and the most expensive side by side, which I'm really excited about because the most expensive was one of my favorites. I seem to have expensive taste in wine.
So what I
don't know how
have
to
here,
speak
sorry,
about-
Mira, I don't want to cut you off, but before it gets dark, this is Leaning Post 2019 vintage, the Saint Chuck Vineyard. It's the wine that we serve at the Pan Canadian Wine Masterclass at Bella Terra in August. It was one of the star of the night. So here we are here. Cherry, raspberry. It's very pie, the little pie crust, vanilla. Oh, Rob, and it shows so well tonight. Oh my God. Mm. 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 Oh yeah. So this is definitely number one and number two. I have to retaste beside Clausen Chase, but the finish, there's a nice grip on the finish. Definitely. There's a length, there's complexity, there's red fruit, there's licorice, there's so much going on. There's a spice, there's herbs, there's roses. This is much more than a wine of wine of exception. No, wine of
Distinction.
one of distinction. It's a wine of exception.
Yeah.
Uh,
We said the other day that, oh, a wine over 92 points and up, it's a wine of distinction. Our kids were like, a wine of extinction? Like the dinosaur?
Yeah. No, this wine actually. Okay. Here. Okay, that's the test of the night.
Ah,
Clausen Chase and Leaning Post.
okay. And then I want to get my least expensive wine out. So let me go get it back because I put it inside. I put it back in the wine fridge here. I agree, Rob. Leaning Post, one of my favorites as well. Amazing Pinot Noir from Leaning Post. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get that.
Wait a minute. Do you want to see the result?
Yes,
No.
I want to see the result. What do you think of Leaning Post, Carl? What do you really think?
I didn't get as excited with Clausen as with Leaning Post as with Clausen because I knew exactly what to expect with
You
that
tasted
wine.
it. You tasted it a month ago.
Yeah, exactly, right? So Clausen is it's fruitier.
Okay.
It's more fruity. Leaning Post, it's more intricate. Leaning Post is more cerebral, more complex. So that's where the price point comes into the equation. And I will give the edge to Clausen Chase at $36 versus $70 at Leaning Post by half a point. I would say 94 for Clausen for Leaning Post and 94 plus at Clausen Chase. $36 for Clausen Chase. Keep that in mind. 36 darn dollars versus 70. So, I mean, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to get the least expensive wine of the night. I'll be
94 points for Leaning Post. Now, yeah, both are fantastic, but I give the half a point advantage to Clausen because of the price point. Okay, Mira, go get your quesadilla so we can wrap that up before the bottle's filled with mosquitoes. Yeah. Let's recap here. What's the very, very, very top rated wines? Let's start with Leaning Post with Clausen Chase at 94 plus. After that, at Leaning Post with 94, I did the Mission Hill, the Prospectus 93. We have a few at 92 and 92 plus with Westcott, 92 with Tightrope, 92 plus with Batchelder. Yeah, I mean, these are some of the top wine here. Oof, I'm getting cold here. Jeez.
Well, I mean, we're pretty much done. Okay, so here, Quesadilla just arrived yesterday in the mail for us, a whole 12 pack of these Quesadilla wines from Prince Edward County. This was $24.95, including tax for a Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
And we talked about Pinot Noir, not an easy grape to grow, so it reflects in the price point. $24.95 is probably one of the least expensive Pinots you're going to find that's of quality. Can you please, my dear, help me open that? Thank you. All right. So we got the $24.95, least expensive wine of the night. We got the 97 something, almost $100 wine, okay, in the other glass. Can I get a glass of Quesadilla, please?
Here.
Oh, you did. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, let me find the $100 bottle.
Okay, very enjoyable wine. We were very pleasantly surprised. And in that 12 pack that they sent us, there were like what, $16 wines, including tax,
like some
Carl?
Picanero.
Picanero. What was the other rare varietal they had?
I can't remember them all.
Pecorino, you mean? Pecorino. There was another rare varietal as well, and 16 including tax. So we're very excited to taste those ones. This was $24.95 including tax. Quesadilla in Prince Edward County. Very pleasantly surprised. Very enjoyable wine. Okay. And this is the $97 wine from Mission Hills.
This is Mission Hill Prospectus.
I really liked earlier. I really did. I guess I have expensive taste in wine. Oh. See, that's the difference. A great $25 wine makes you say, yeah, I'm satisfied. I'm happy. I'm going to have this any night of the week. Happy to have it any night of the week. The $97 wine makes you go, oh, yeah. Like that is special.
I mean, of course, the finesse, the texture, like it plays a lot into that. Like I said, the quesadilla is rugged. It doesn't have the finesse, the texture. it's a very well-made wine for $24.95. When you get to the prospectus, I mean, when people say, "Oh, I don't know," like people who are not into wines, I don't know how you can describe or you can recognize a very expensive wine, but it's into the texture.
Mm.
Texture, that's where I go very luxurious. That's how you feel it. It's more of it's a feeling thing. It's like the texture in your mouth, all soft, the depth, the complexity, and yeah, in the prospectus it shows, man. It's like whereas the sweetness comes out to soften up the whole thing. Everything is just very in sync. It's well made, but it's definitely not the top wine. It's not even my top two. Maybe the third best wine in the lineup. So yeah,
Goes to show you, just because it's the most expensive doesn't always mean it's the best one.
no, absolutely not, absolutely not. And but yeah, that was a great lineup. We have the wine of the night. To me, it's Clausen Chase Vineyard 2020 vintage at 94 plus. Second wine of the night is Leaning Post, the Senchuk Vineyard 2019 vintage. The third wine of Mission Hill Prospectus 2017. And to round up my top five, I would say Tightrope, Tightrope Fleet Road, and there's 192 plus, which is Batchelder. So here is my top five of the night. There you go.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
So here's our raw scores and notes in the spreadsheet I'm putting in the comments here. Subject to change up to 1 point, would you say, based on a second tasting?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I really like that you do this, Carl, because a lot of tasters will go to a tasting, they'll take 2 sips of a wine, and they'll be like, oh, this many points, and that's it, and it's done. And that doesn't always do justice to the wine.
No, exactly. So, yeah. So tomorrow, round number 2, and we have, if you're in the Okanagan, you are more than welcome. We're going to retaste that starting at 2:00 and tell you, if the Ravens lose against the Browns in Cleveland, you better come here and walking on your tippy toes, because I might not be as enjoyable as. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
A big Ravens fan.
We're playing against the stupid Browns tomorrow at 10 a.m. So hopefully, big win. We might even crack other things. Michel, thanks you. Merci beaucoup pour de vous joindre à nous ce soir. J'espère que t'as appris des choses. J'espère que
On devrait parler
en français.
En français.
Ouais, un petit peu plus. Bon, un gros merci à tout le monde, spécialement en français, les gens de la belle ville de Québec, de toute la belle province, de toutes les régions francophones du Canada. On vous remercie beaucoup de vous joindre à nous. C'était notre marathon de Pinot Noir. On a goûté 43 Pinot Noirs. Je sais pas si je peux. Wait a minute. Here, just gonna.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
There you go. Now, here is what the table looks like now. There you go. Yeah.
The table. I mean, I've taken most of these wines back inside into a wine fridge.
Yeah. So
This is just a little glimpse. It's pretty crazy what we're doing. Okay, so Graham O'Rourke from Tightrope is saying, looking forward to the Cab Franc Showdown, which is November 4th, Saturday, November 4th, 3 p.m. Pacific. So, and if you're in the Okanagan, stop by the next day for the open house, because it's worth tasting these wines for yourself. That's really the best way to learn about wine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just to get these wines in your house and taste them. But
So-
I hope this gives you a glimpse of what you might like, right?
there you go. Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, to everyone who tuned in tonight, who joined us for that Pinot Noir Marathon, thank you so very much. And yeah, we'll do it again soon with a different varietal. So thanks for your support all. By the way, tomorrow it's Sunday, so Monday, tune in. We're going to receive our offer of the week coming up. It's Riverstone Winery. We've tasted some crazy wine this week from them. They were named number 5 small winery of the year, the last wine line. They got 4 or 5 gold medals. They're all in that pack. There's some pretty cool one, including a 2013 Stone's Throw. So we have some cool stuff coming up early this week.
And there's the 2015 milestone, which no one has access to, which was heavenly. Probably one of the best Canadian wines this guy's ever tasted, ever.
Well, I said in my top 5.
In your top 5. And so that is a very special wine, but we do have access to it. So that's another thing. What I wanted to say is if you are not a Carl's Wine Club member and you've been watching us, you need to join. It's free. carlswineclub.com. Join us. And if you are a member, check your emails, because I snuck in a little thing there where I said, if you would be interested in a 6-pack, a mystery pack of Pinot Noirs that were some of the most highest rated from today's marathon, still available on the market, then hit reply on that email, let me know, and we'll see what we can do for you tomorrow. Okay. So I hope you guys have a fabulous night. It's been amazing chatting with you and tasting these.
Oh, by the way, we have a
3 Pinot Noirs.
We have a YouTube channel.
We do have a YouTube channel, and I am so grateful because our members have been going all over that. So we have a new YouTube, well, relatively new, somewhat neglected, and soon to be not neglected YouTube channel.
We're going to spend lots of time and effort to get that YouTube channel pretty slick. So yeah, join, go subscribe, and hey, have a good evening, everyone. We're going to go take care of our kids. Hopefully they're still alive somewhere in the house.
Oh, my sister's got them eating ice cream. It's all good.
There you go. There you go. So Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, have a great evening, and thank you to you, Mira Boucher.
Thanks, Carl Boucher. Hope you guys have a great night. Cheers.